Chapter-941 What about the dead girl? Dark cave, depressing atmosphere. Uchiha Madara walked to the brazier and stared blankly at the flaming flame. Against the background of the beating fire, his expression gradually became terrifying. The more he thinks about it, the more uneasy he is now, because he understands that the cold light after resurrection will destroy everything for him, and it is unfortunate to have such an enemy. But there is another side that makes him happy, that is, through the resurrection of cold light, Uchiha Madara sees the possibility of immortality. You go to see Sarutobi Hiruzen first. Uchiha Madara turned around suddenly, staring at Black Zetsu and said, in the past 10 years, Sarutobi Hiruzen has tried his best to deify Hangguang in order to appease the dissatisfaction of his subordinates. Now that Hangguang is resurrected, Sarutobi Hiruzen's position is unstable, you help him fight. When this war is a condition, let him deal with Hangguang. Okay. Black Zetsu nodded thoughtfully, then asked, where's Uzumaki Kushina? She might be in the Land of Thunder. Wait first, things need to come one by one. Uchiha Madara's face suddenly turned ugly, I want to make White Zetsu again. He was furious when he mentioned this. Hangguang must have been resurrected not long after he even killed White Zetsu twice. Senjuhashirama's cells, Uchiha Madara has not much stock. After all, Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, cultivates cells, it also takes time. This time to recreate White Zetsu, Uchiha Madara is not even sure if those cells are enough. But White Zetsu must be recreated. Without White Zetsu, an intelligence officer, Uchiha Madara would not be able to quickly master the various dynamics of the ninja world, and it would not be conducive to his implementation of various plans. Uzumaki Kushina, I will leave it to White Zetsu to do it. Uchiha Madara continued, I need to investigate her specific location first. Would you like to release the news of Hangguang's resurrection and let Kurigakure, Sunagakure, and Iwagakure attack him? Black Zetsu thought. Uchiha Madara was silent and thought for a while before saying, wait, let's understand Sarutobi Hiruzen's attitude first. Late at night, the mansion in Ludu village. In the lobby on the first floor, Xiao Ali, who had already eaten, was already drowsy, and the shadow cat was lying on top of his head, and was about to fall asleep. How Tsunade had eaten, the food on the table had only moved a little, and it was already cold. Luhan took Hyuga Luo Ning upstairs at sunset, and he hasn't come down yet. Tsunade went upstairs to see twice. The room was sealed by Luhan. She didn't know what was inside, but it was certain that Luhan was treating Hyuga Luo Ning. The poison on Hyuga Luo Ning's body is indeed very difficult to solve, because the toxin has entered the heart, and Tsunade did not dare to use extreme methods before treatment. The human heart is fragile, and if there is a slight problem, it will be fatal. Blah blah. With the sound of footsteps, Hyuga Luo Ning walked downstairs with Luhan's arm on her shoulders. Her face was moist, her breath was full, she seemed to be all right, and Tsunade could no longer smell the special fragrance on Hyuga Luo Ning's body. How? Tsunade stood up suddenly. It's all right. Luhan smiled. It's a special pot poison of the Cthulhu sect. It can be removed with the ritual of the Cthulhu. In the early years, Luhan had killed Mundogen, the chief commander of the Kurigakure Scout Force, who was born in the cultist sect. Luhan not only got Mundogen's unforgettable ability, but also in the process of accepting the ability, he learned about the arrangement methods of many cult rituals. It is precisely because of this ability that Luhan judged that the poison in Hyuga Luo Ning was the poison of the evil god religion, and cracked it. I'll keep the dishes hot. Tsunade picked up the plate and went to the kitchen. Hyuga Luo Ning also helped bring the dishes to the kitchen. Xiao Ali has already stood up nervously, looking like she has no sleepiness at all. Have you eaten? Luhan had no smile on his face, looking very serious. I have eaten, Ali said. Do you know you're wrong? I know. Okay, for the sake of your obedience, I won't beat you. I'll punish you to go out and live in the former house. It's late at night. What else is going on? I'll talk about it tomorrow. This is a luxurious mansion in a wealthy area. There is naturally more than one building in the entire mansion. In addition to the main building, there are side buildings, front houses, and other places where businessmen can hold banquets for hundreds of people, or ninjas can come to practice. Warehouse-style building. Xiao Ali looked relieved, bowed to Lu Han, and trotted out. The shadow cat was still lying on top of his head and was taken away. There are 8 dishes in total, and Tsunade and Hyuga Luo Ning have just left 4. Tsunade came out of the kitchen again and wanted to serve the dishes again, but found that Ali was gone, and asked in confusion, "Did Ali go upstairs?" "No, cough. I let him go out to live, it's a punishment for him." Lu Han gave his son a natural look. Tsunade was taken aback. What kind of punishment is this? Where to live differently? Immediately after, she reacted, her cheeks turned Yuhi, and she gave Lu Han a fierce look. Her whole body became a little twitchy, but the corners of her mouth couldn't help but bring a smile. You, if you let Ali know that you are there. What are you thinking? Let me see where your face is. Why? Lu Han smiled, pulled Tsunade forward and hugged him hard. It's like he won't marry a wife in the future. After speaking, Lu Han kissed Tsunade's lips. Very sweet. Don't worry, let's eat first. Hyuga Luo Ning came out of the kitchen and saw the 2 people hugging each other, and joked, but her cheeks turned Yuhi. She heard it in the kitchen just now. Ali was driven away, and now there are only 3 of them left in the building, a husband and 2 wives. The night is getting darker. After the meal, the table was not tidied up. Amid the exclamations of the 2 women, Lu Han carried one between his arms and another on his shoulders, and led them upstairs. After, Yue hid in the dark clouds, as if shyly hiding. Several times of wind and rain. Towards dawn. The sky was already bright outside the window. Lu Han tilted his head to look at the window amid the entanglement of lotus and powdered legs, but he was completely sleepy. On one side, Tsunade was drawing circles on Lu Han's hand, and on the other side, Hyuga Luo Ning leaned against Lu Han's shoulder, rubbing and rubbing. Can't sleep, chat. Lu Han asked a lot about Xiao Ali, and said about his 10 years of sleeping, and finally asked another person. What about the dead girl? I heard that she left Konoha to find you. Do you know where she is now? Chapter 0942_Tragedy caused by the pursuit. Damn girl. Soy mujer. Bad girl. Girl. Waiting words came out of Lu Han's mouth, referring to one person, Uzumaki Kushina. After Lu Han asked, he waited for an answer, but what was waiting was the silence of the 2. What's the matter? Lu Han tilted his head left and right to look. Hyuga Luo Ning had buried his head and hid and didn't speak, while Tsunade looked like he couldn't say anything. He hesitated, as if something had happened. Lu Han finally looked at Tsunade again and asked, "What's wrong?" "We quarreled," Tsunade whispered, and it was obvious that she was a little regretful. "I scolded her, because the quarrel was too intense. I couldn't hold back, slapped her and she ran away and never came back." "When did it happen?" 4 years ago, she found us when Ali was 1 year old, and we lived together. She left 4 years ago, and I never saw her again, but I asked Orochimaru to inquire about him. She, like us, has no permanent residence, has been for many years, but she has been alone, like a wanderer. Because of what? You quarreled and you beat her? Lu Han asked suspiciously. Uzumaki Kushina was raised by Lu Han, but he was actually raised by Tsunade. Tsunade spent more time with her, and the 2 were 10 years apart in age. At 4 years old, Tsunade was her aunt, but more like her mother. In fact, Tsunade loves Uzumaki Kushina very much. Lu Han often teaches Uzumaki Kushina a lesson, and Tsunade always helps him. Tsunade also reprimanded her, but she never seemed to hit her, not even when she was a child. 4 years ago, Uzumaki Kushina was 19 years old and was already a woman. How did Tsunade hit her? There is a ninja after her. Tsunade moved his body and leaned against Lu Han's ear. Yuan's breath spit on his cheek. It's an elite Jonin, very young, from Takian village. Aha! Luhan made a nasal sound. Kushina has reached her age. It is normal for a young genius ninja to pursue her. And then, Kushina was very unhappy and complained to me. I went to the ninja, beat him, and told him not to pester Kushina. Tsunade continued. After that, I took Ali, Luo Ning, Kushina, the few of us left the country of Taki, but I didn't expect that ninja to catch up. He is the kind of very patient person. I have taught him twice, but he didn't fight back. He just pestered Kushina and helped us every day. We went to the Land of Thunder and rented a common village. Come here, help us fix our house, help us fix our well. I can feel it, he really likes Kushina very much. Quote. Kushina hated him more and more, and even got into a fight with him, seriously wounding the ninja. You scolded Kushina for this? Luhan asked. Of course not. Tsunade shook his head. He is indeed a little annoying. After being seriously injured, he is still unrelenting, and he looks like he will not give up until he catches up. Kushina finally didn't even bother to beat him. Originally, I thought that after a long time, he would give up. Kushina looked down on him, and he would never have a chance, and as a result. Tsunade dragged a long note, not to sell off, but to recall the situation at that time. What's the result? Luhan asked. Kushina left for 3 days, and I don't know where she went. Tsunade continued. Then the ninja was watching over us. He knew Kushina would definitely come back. 3 days later Kushina came back, and about half an hour later. Month time, that ninja is dead. Dead. Luhan was taken aback. Kushina killed him. Not Kushina. Who is that? Xiao Ai. Xiao Ai. Luhan blinked blankly. Yes, it's Xiao Ai. Tsunade spoke faster. At that time, Xiao Ai was not the 4th generation of Hokage. He brought a large group of ninjas to our place. Found that ninja, he will kill. Kushina left for 3 days to find Xiao Ai. Yes, I asked Kushina later, and she admitted it. Tsunade looked sad. I was very angry at the time. Kushina is a little too tyrannical. I can't do this kind of thing, although I usually can't control my temper. But at most it is a lesson, not to say that killing people because of non-malicious contradictions. This is wrong. I don't want Kushina to become so fierce. I scolded her. In fact, as long as she admits her mistakes, I will forgive her. Impulsive, but Kushina quarreled with me, yelled, I hit her when I got excited, and she ran away crying. And never came back. Luhan was a little stunned. What a mess. Who is right and who is wrong? It can't be said that Kushina must be wrong. If Luhan is replaced, this kind of stalker will definitely kill him if he can't stand it. However, it cannot be said that Tsunade is wrong, because Tsunade considers the problem from the perspective of educating Kushina. She does not want Kushina to go the wrong way. She has raised Kushina for 13 years. She has this right. Where's Xiao Ai? He was in a hurry and left after killing people. He said something to Kushina before leaving, and I talked to me. So, Luo Ning, why are you hiding? What have you done? Hyuga Luo Ning buried her head and said nothing. Luo Ning, she's here to reprimand Kushina for me. Tsunade said, we said something serious. Alas. Luhan sighed, what's the matter? Tsunade is grumpy, so is Kushina. If they really quarreled and pointed to maiming, there would be an accident, and there would not be a situation where each would take a step back. Time flies. 3 days have passed in a blink of an eye. Luhan's family is still in Ludu village, living a peaceful and warm life before finding his wife and son. Luhan intends to enjoy a relaxing time, and is also waiting for someone, waiting for Orochimaru. Orochimaru just needs to wait for Tsunade to return to Ludu village. The news will surely come. At noon that day, Ali was practicing physique in the yard, and someone came to visit. Hyuga Bonin, the current chief executive of Ludu village. The other is a male ninja who is about 30 years old and his muscles are bursting. He is an acquaintance. 4th generation Hokage, I. Chapter 0943 Hokage Xiao Ai. In the courtyard, Ali, who is practicing boxing, stopped and frowned slightly as he looked at the two who entered the door. He knew Hyuga Burnin, he had met him a few days ago, and Xiao Ai also remembered that he was a child when he was very young. I saw Xiao Ai. Ali is a monster, he can remember everything after he was 2 years old. Now the 4th generation of Hokage is his father's direct disciple. Ali is naturally aware of this. Ali couldn't help but turn his head to look under the tree in the corner of the courtyard. Before, Lu Han was standing in Ali, watching Ali practice, but now he was gone. Ali. It's Ali, right? Ha 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 ha. She really looks like a teacher, and the little guy has grown up. When Xiao Ai saw Ali, she grinned and walked quickly to Ali, up and down. He looked at it. Well, not bad. He's pretty tall, but he's a little too beautiful, and he's not a man at all, that's not good. Isn't it pretty? Ali pouted at Xiao Ai, do you have to look like you to be a man? Hey, little guy, do you remember who I am? Of course I remember. You are my father's disciple. After all, I should call you Big Brother, right? Yes. Ha ha ha. Good boy, not afraid of life at all, good memory, good. Inside the house, Tsunade and Hyuga Luo Ning came out one after another when they heard the news. Tsunade was surprised to see that Xiao Ai was with Bonin Hyuga. He glanced at the courtyard again, and when he saw Lu Han was gone, he understood what Lu Han was thinking. Hyuga Luo Ning winked. When Xiao Ai saw someone coming out, she immediately took a few steps forward and saluted. I have seen Xiniang, little Xiniang. The last time Tsunade saw Xiao Ai was 4 years ago, but he didn't have much contact with him. In fact, Tsunade's main impression of Xiao Ai was still when Xiao Ai was studying with Lu Han back then. Looking at Xiao Ai at this time is completely different. Very airy. As one of the strongest in the ninja world and one of the most powerful ninjas, Hokage Ai's superior has a very strong temperament. It can be seen from the fact that he can calmly call Hyuga Luo Ning's little sister. He is mature. Whatever the seniority should be, call it whatever you want, be calm and open-minded, and there will be no embarrassed emotions. At this moment, Xiao Ai is imposing, with deep eyes. Although he looks like a reckless man, he only looks like him. The same is true of his father. However, how can someone who can serve as a leader be so simple? Come, sit inside. Tsunade invited Xiao Ai into the room. Tsunade, Hyuga Luo Ning, Hyuga Bonin, and Xiao Ai entered the main building. Only Ali remained in the yard and looked around secretly. He was looking for Lu Han. Where is Dad? Inside the house, everyone was seated. How did you come to Ludu village? Tsunade asked with a smile. She didn't receive when Hyuga Benin came that day, because she didn't want to deal with the Konoha Anbu ninja, no matter who that person was, but this time, Xiao Ai came together. Xiao Ai has been living with Lu Han in practice for nearly a year and a half. Tsunade, as a mistress, does not know how many meals he has cooked for him and how many times he has healed his injuries. Moreover, Tsunade is 7 years older than Xiao Ai, which is completely true. Treat him as a close junior. Of course, Tsunade wouldn't be so ignorant. This is Hokage, the 4th generation, for no special reason, and Tsunade will not assume the posture of a mistress. After all, this is her husband's disciple, not hers. I'm here for Xiniang. Xiao Ai smiled. As long as Xiniang is all right, it seems that the matter has been solved. Oh, come to see me. Tsunade was surprised. She thought that Xiao Ai came to Ludu village office for some business. She heard that she was here and stopped by to see her. Yes. Xiao Ai nodded. A few days ago, I received a secret report that Xiniang was being chased and killed in the country of Vortex. Originally, I wanted to inform my brother to bring someone to find Xiniang. Killer Bee is in the country of Vortex. But Killer Bee was injured before, so I explained what happened in the village, came over to have a look, and then. Xiao Ai's trigger time was a little later, because it was a time of war. As Hokage, he was busy with his affairs. He needed some time to explain some things to the senior management of Kumogakure before he could come. He only went to Yihai village yesterday, and learned that Konoha sent ninjas to the country of Vortex to find Tsunade, and also knew that the base camp of the operation was in Ludu village. So he came over today and directly contacted the Konoha ninja here as Hokage, and Benin Hyuga told him that Tsunade had escaped and lived here. After listening to Xiao Ai, Tsunade looked at Xiao Ai with a warmer and closer look. Han Guang has been dead for 10 years, and Xiao Ai, who has become the 4th generation of Hokage, has not forgotten the kindness of Han Guang's teaching to him. Hearing that his wife is in danger, he can still come over to help. Very good, very good. 3rd generation Hokage Lao Ai was alive, he was known for his faithfulness. Although he was a martial artist, he did not play tricks and tricks. Even if he started a war, he would tell you frankly that I would beat you just for money. Xiao Ai's character is very similar to Lao Ai. People chat. Bonin Hyuga was like an outsider, he couldn't get in what Tsunade said to Xiao Ai. He had been observing Tsunade and Xiao Ai's expression, and his heart sank. He hopes Tsunade can go back to Konoha, but only if Tsunade has a necessary reason to go back to Konoha. For example, it's too dangerous outside, but now it seems that even if it's dangerous outside, Tsunade doesn't need Konoha's protection, she still has a backer, that is Kumogakure village. Relationship is too hard. Contrast, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Xiao Ai borrowed money from Tsunade at the same time, and Tsunade is obviously more likely to lend to the latter. By the way, Mrs., who is chasing you? You are so bold. Xiao Ai was about to get angry. Since I'm in the country of Vortex this time, everything will be resolved. Kill the ones who deserve to be killed, and also warn those people by the way. People with ideas, the legacy left by teachers, they are not something they can spy on. Quote. It was Hanzo's plan to hunt me down this time, Tsunade said directly. Hanzo. Xiao Ai's expression froze. He didn't have the strength to kill Hanzo. The two belong to the same level of existence. Although Hanzo has begun to age, he is wily and cunning. It is very difficult to kill him. However, Hanzo is dead, Tsunade added. Huh, Xiao Ai stared at Tsunade. Hyuga Burnin has been shocked. Chapter 0944_Don't Tell You. Hanzo is dead, he died. Today, Benin Hyuga came to lead Xiao Ai on the one hand, and on the other hand, he wanted to find an opportunity to persuade Tsunade to return to Konoha. This is his mission. As the oldest ninja in Anbu today, 45-year-old Hyuga Bonin is about to retire. He is too old to take on Anbu's mission. He wants to make merit and retire with honor. He's here to persuade Tsunade. That's it. I didn't expect to hear such amazing news. Once the news spreads, the entire ninja world will be a sensation, and even the direction of the ninja world war will be affected. The demigod Hanzo, who has been at the top of the ninja world for half his life, can be said to be the ninja who has experienced the most dangers in the ninja world. His death was too sudden, but it was unacceptable and unbelievable. Why did you die? Xiao Ai was still staring at Tsunade, but she didn't return to her senses for a long time. He's dead, Tsunade repeated, calmly. Others couldn't believe that Hanzo was killed because they didn't know who killed Hanzo. Tsunade knew that that man was his husband, a legendary existence known as the king of an era. If others knew it was Hangguang who killed him, with Hanzo, it wouldn't be so hard to believe. However, Tsunade couldn't say anything about Hangguang. Master killed him, Xiao Ai asked in disbelief. I don't have that kind of strength. If I had, I wouldn't wait until today. Tsunade smiled. A friend, help me kill him. Friend? Friend. Who? I won't tell you. Tsunade is very straightforward and doesn't lie to Xiao Ai. If he doesn't tell you, he won't tell you. Master, this. Why, can't you say it? Xiao Ai was a little anxious, like a cat's claw in her heart. Tsunade said half of it. It was too uncomfortable, that, your friend, he has what? Or is that the mysterious powerhouse? The one on the battlefield that day? Hyuga Burnin finally found a chance to interject. Tsunade glanced at Bonin Hyuga, and said, Looking at Xiao Ai again, Tsunade said, "It's not that I don't want to tell you, it's that I can't say it, but you'll know after a while." Tsunade wasn't sure if Lu Han would take the initiative to see Xiao Ai, but even if he didn't see him, Uchiha Madara also knew that Han Guang was resurrected, and the news would spread sooner or later. "Mistress. I really can't tell." "Little mistress." Xiao Ai looked at Hyuga Luo Ning again. Hyuga Luo Ning was the same age as him and had always been better at talking than Tsunade. "Apples are delicious." Hyuga Luo Ning pretended not to hear, took a bite of the apple in the fruit bowl, and muttered to herself. "It's time for lunch, let's talk. I'll go to the kitchen to cook, and Xiao Ai will stay for lunch together." Tsunade laughed, then got up and walked to the kitchen. She didn't invite Hyuga Burnin, really didn't want to see her. Hyuga Luo Ning was a little embarrassed. Tsunade had the final say. She didn't dare to make her own decisions, she could only give Hyuga Bonin an apologetic look. Hyuga Burnin didn't notice Hyuga Luo Ning's eyes. At this moment, his mind was in chaos, still thinking about that. Hanzo is dead. He actually died. This matter must be reported to Konoha immediately. I still have tasks. Hyuga Burnin suddenly stood up, bowed to Xiao Ai, and said to Hyuga Luo Ning, "I'll go back first." "Uncle, I'll take it to you." Hyuga Luo Ning asked Xiao Ai to take a moment and sent Hyuga Burnin out of the door. When she got outside the gate, Hyuga Luo Ning whispered, "Uncle Burnin, that sister, she is not targeting you, don't." "I understand, it's fine." Hyuga Bonin smiled at Hyuga Luo Ning, "It's just because of my Anbu status. Tsunade, Sama has that temper. It's not that I don't know, you can go back." After speaking, Hyuga Burnin hurriedly left. He was all about Hanzo's death, so he wouldn't mind Tsunade's attitude. Besides, it was useless for him to mind. Tsunade was cooking. After Hyuga Luo Ning returned to the house, he chatted with Xiao Ai for a while, and then went to the kitchen. Xiao Ai came to the yard to watch Ali practice the exercises. Ali seems to be very hardworking. Without using chakra, he practiced his fists and kicks, and he fought extremely fast, but he did not bring out too much wind, which showed that his control over his body was amazing. Xiao Ai stood at the door and watched for a while, and began to admire Ali a little. "I thought that when Xiao Ai was 9 years old, she didn't work so hard. She needed the encouragement of her father to study hard and practice hard every day. Children, self-control is always worse." However, what Xiao Ai didn't know was that Xiao Ali was not usually so diligent at all, and Tsunade didn't allow him to practice too hard, and he was still growing. Excessive practice would damage his body. The reason why Ali is working so hard today is entirely because Lu Han is gone. Ali didn't know where Dad went, and seriously suspected that Dad was watching from the dark. If he didn't behave hard, he would be beaten. Xiao Ai watched for more than half an hour, but Ali didn't stop. Xiao Ai was a little distressed when she watched it. How could she practice like this? What if you practice badly? "Eat." Tsunade's voice called from inside the room. Xiao Ali finally stopped. When Xiao Ai and Ali entered the room, the food was already on the table. "Lunch, 4 people. I haven't tasted Xinjiang's craftsmanship for many years." Xiao Ai was holding a huge rice bowl, and she felt a little emotional, since the teacher. Xiao Ai suddenly stopped and carefully observed Tsunade's expression. "It's okay, let's talk." Tsunade glanced at Xiao Ai and said, "Since the teacher passed away, I haven't had a chance." Xiao Ai sighed, and seemed to think of something, and said, "Miss, have you considered living in Kumogakure village? Ali is practicing physical arts, right? He used to, can also have some friends who communicate with each other." Well, Tsunade thought about it. "Kushina is also in Kumogakure village, you seem to have misunderstood." Xiao Ai said again. "Huh." Tsunade was stunned, blinked, then turned his gaze to the figure that suddenly appeared behind Xiao Ai, then got up and walked towards the kitchen. Xiao Ai didn't understand Tsunade's reaction, but then she looked back as if she had noticed something. Lu Han patted Xiao Ai on the shoulder, sat on the chair beside Xiao-ai, and asked, Kushina is in Kumogakure village. Chapter 0945-Master and Apprentice. Tsunade came out of the kitchen with clean bowls and chopsticks in his hand, walked to the dining table and handed it to Lu Han, and then sat across from Lu Han. Xiao-ai was like a darling baby. After Lu Han appeared, he put down the chopsticks in his hand and sat upright. Xiao-ai hasn't recovered yet. He looked at Lu Han, at Lu Han's young face, always at. What about you? Lu Han knocked on the table, and then smiled. Xiao-ai's expression now. It's too ornamental. Ah! Xiao-ai screamed, stood up suddenly, still staring at Lu Han, and then slapped herself suddenly, with a smack sound. Her face hurt. Dream. I'm dreaming. Does it hurt? Tsunade asked suddenly. Xiao-ai's attention was attracted by Tsunade, and subconsciously replied, it hurts. It hurts. Tsunade smiled. Xiao-ai looked at Tsunade, then at Lu Han, then at Tsunade, then at Hyuga Luoning, and finally at Aili. Now he even has the illusion that everything in front of him is fake. Fake Tsunade, fake cold light. All fake. And if Tsunade were true, there would be an unexplained logical problem. Why wasn't Tsunade surprised to see that Han Guang was dead? Why is it so natural? If Tsunade is not here, Hyuga Luoning and Aili are not here, Xiao-ai will definitely fight when she sees the cold light, because the cold light must be fake. It's someone impersonating. The problem is, Tsunade is real. They are all real. Neither of them were surprised, nor did they find it strange. Then there was only one explanation left, the cold light is real. Bewildered is not enough to describe Xiao-ai's state at this time. Suddenly. So scary. Lu Han did not prove his identity to Xiao-ai step by step, but came out to talk and ask things. This is the fundamental reason why Xiao-ai was frightened. The reason why Lu Han was like this was that he felt it was unnecessary. To prove who he is, he doesn't need complicated explanations at all. Old teacher, Xiao-ai stammered and raised her hand as if she wanted to touch Lu Han. I guess he wanted to see if Lu Han was a ghost or something. Lu Han grabbed Xiao-ai's wrist, pushed it aside, tilted his head and said, Hey. Teacher, you're not dead, Xiao-ai said slowly with a dumbfounded expression. Dead, but alive again. Lu Han continued, my consciousness slept for 10 years, and it wasn't until last month, the 10th anniversary of my death, that my consciousness woke up and resurrected. Is this? Xiao-ai was dumbfounded, then turned to look at Tsunade again, as if Tsunade could confirm it for him. That's it. Tsunade nodded to Xiao-ai. Xiao-ai turned her head to look at Lu Han again. He actually. Yuhi had eye circles. Lu Han got goosebumps a little. He really couldn't stand this. A big man with a big back. Yuhi's eyes. If a woman, Lu Han can accept it at any age, but a man. Although Xiao-ai is a real temperament, not pretending, but Lu Han is one of the most important mentors in his life. When Lu Han came back, Lu Han was resurrected, and a dead person appeared alive in front of him. He was excited, joyful, and even wept with joy. But Lu Han still felt a little cold. Xiao-ai is a very emotional person. So did Lu Han. It's just that the two express it differently. Sit, you sit first. Lu Han pointed to the chair. He decided to divert Xiao-ai's attention. Don't ask me first, I'll talk about it later, answer me a few questions first. Xiao-ai sat down slowly and kept looking at Lu Han. Kushina in Kumogakure village. Yes. How long has she lived there? In less than 2 months. What is she doing at the Tenten in Kumogakure village? She joined Kumogakure. No, it's just, the Tenten are looking for someone to fight. Fight? Yes, she is not bad, and she is also the best among the elite Jonin. She has fought with Killer Bee a few times, winning and losing. Well, okay, let's eat. Lu Han said with a smile, picking up the bowl and chopsticks. Lu Han is relieved. Since Uzumaki Kushina is in Kumogakure village, there is basically no danger, and her own strength is not weak. As a 5-tailed Jinchuriki column power, she can be similar to Killer Bee, so at least she must be a top super elite, or even he may have stepped into the cage level threshold. Kushina is 23 years old this year. With such strength, considering his talent, he is lower than Tsunade and others. However, in comparison, Luhan still felt that the Uzumaki Kushina in the original book was definitely stronger than the Kushina in this world at the age of 23. Absolutely cage level. After all, in the original work, it was the Kyubi 9-tails person Jinchuriki column power, and he did not leave Konoha. There was always someone to guide the practice. We'll go find Kushina in a few days. Luhan put a ball in the alley bowl, raised his head and said to Tsunade. Okay. Tsunade nodded. Xiaoai was holding her rice bowl, as if she couldn't move her hands, and kept looking at Luhan. Do I have flowers on my face? Luhan gave Xiaoai a sideways glance. Xiaoai subconsciously avoided Luhan's eyes. It was a conditioned reflex. Although he is Raikage now, and he is already 30 years old, when he followed Luhan's practice, Tenten was beaten, and he was very afraid of Luhan. Dad, where's the kitten? Asked Ali, who was biting the ball. The shadow cat has been away for a day, and has not appeared since yesterday afternoon until now. Going to find your uncle Orochimaru. Luhan glanced back. Ali really likes cats. Hyuga Luo Ning pursed her lips and smiled. It doesn't like you either. Who said it doesn't like me? It does. Lee said immediately. Really? Then why does it keep messing with your hair? He's still small and likes to scratch his hair. Eating, chatting, the atmosphere is relaxed and warm. Xiaoai didn't say a word for a long time, because all this was a little unreal. It took him a long time to get used to it. Everything is true. Real. Teacher Han Guang is back. He is here, alive. Old, teacher, Xiaoai said weakly. I'm not a ghost, can you be normal? You are Raikage, Luhan said helplessly. Okay. Xiaoai immediately sat up straight, but he still looked a little abnormal. It was obviously the sequelae of Luhan's over-disciplining him back then. Teacher, you killed Hanzo. Chapter 0946 This is a misunderstanding. Xiaoai was shocked one after another today. Hanzo's death made him react for a long time, and Hengguang lived even more. Then he would naturally think that Hanzo died in Hengguang's hands. I killed him. He joined forces with the heretic god sect in Takian village to hunt down your wife, damn it. Luhan said. It is as expected. That makes sense. Teacher, your master's secret art of life? Xiaoai asked hesitantly. He didn't know if this would lead to Luhan's plan. After all, everyone has secrets. The technique of the profound meaning of life is an immortal technique that only exists in legends. Currently, the known techniques of life and death in the ninja world are only techniques that are close to the profound meaning of life, such as Konoha's forbidden technique Impure World Reincarnation. It is only close, not true. Resurrect people. The profound meaning of life. Luhan muttered for a while, and then said after thinking about it, that's right. Well, yes. Luhan can indeed be resurrected. But that's conditional. You use the sleep ability for your own resurrection. You must have a resurrection scroll when you activate the sleep ability, and resurrecting others is the subversive's exclusive end ability, resurrection. If you compare it, this is definitely true. The magic of life. Under limited conditions, Luhan can indeed bring people back from the dead. Moreover, Luhan had also exchanged the technique of reincarnation without corpse before, which is a technique that can truly make people immortal. It is not wrong to say that Master Luhan's life secret art. The table was quiet for a while. I don't know what Xiaoai was thinking, she even forgot to eat the rice while holding the bowl. Luhan ate half a bowl of rice, wiped his mouth and asked, how is your relationship with Kushina now? Xiaoai regained her senses, blinked her eyes, and then said with a somewhat embarrassed expression, it's normal. Not very good. She still uses her identity as a senior sister to oppress me, and I can't care about her. So usually in Kumogakure village, I always avoid her. Quote. Ha! Lu Han laughed. Unacceptable. How can this be so? Lu Han could imagine that Kushina was staring at Xiao Ai, and Xiao Ai must be very helpless. He is Hokage, the head of Kumogakure village. I heard. Because of the incident 4 years ago, the mistress seems to have misunderstood with Kushina. Xiao Ai took the initiative to bring up the incident again. Misunderstanding. Lu Han squinted at Xiao Ai. Kushina went to find you, and you came to kill the trouble. Is it a misunderstanding? It's a misunderstanding. Xiao Ai nodded seriously. Lu Han was taken aback. Tsunade and Hyuga Luo Ning, who had been listening all the time, raised their heads to look at Xiao Ai at the same time. It's just a misunderstanding. That's why I say it's a misunderstanding. Xiao Ai glanced at it, and said with certainty, and finally looked at Lu Han, teacher. Do you think I will kill people? It's hard to say. Lu Han replied. Teacher, I am this kind of person in your heart. Xiao Ai suddenly became anxious and stood up. He was very concerned about Lu Han's opinion of him. Don't worry, I didn't say you were wrong. Lu Han patted Xiao Ai's arm and let him sit down. Impulsive murder, even if it annoys me, even if there is no intention to hurt me, I'll kill people too. But that's a misunderstanding. Speak, speak. What the hell is going on? That's it. Xiao Ai began to tell. That morning, when I just started practicing, Kushina came. She said that someone was harassing and pestering her, and the Kingdom of Thunder was the territory of Kumogakure village, so I beat that guy out. That is to drive out the country of thunder. That ninja is the elite Jonin from Taki Ninja Village, only 23 years old, is the leader of the younger generation of Taki Ninja Village, named Feiwu. Quote. Of course I agreed. I also told my father that I wanted to go directly to get people later, throw it back to Taki Ninja Village, and then warn Taki Ninja Village by the way, but my father didn't think it was right. He said, Kushina is 5 tails. Human Jinchuriki column power. From the perspective of Shinobi Village, if Feiwu really catches up with Kushina, Kushina is a Taki Shinobi Village ninja, but this kind of small ninja village is unable to protect the human Jinchuiki column power. It's going to get them in big trouble. Although Kushina has left Konoha, it can only be regarded as a wanderer. She is still a Konoha ninja. Because of this, no one dares to trouble her, otherwise it will start a war. I didn't think there was a problem at the time, but my father told me to stay still and go check first. It took half a month for us to find out that Feiwu is a member of Taki Ninja Anbu, and Taki Ninja Village and Omegakure Village secretly cooperated. They shared the mission and shared information. Feiwu's pursuit of Kushina is completely a pretense. In this way, he can blatantly operate in the country of thunder and collect intelligence. He has established a stronghold in the country of thunder and has more than 10 ninjas under his command. Tsunade's face changed. She already knew what was going on behind her. Then, I took someone to the place where my wife lived and found Feiwu. I wanted to capture him alive, but that guy started the forbidden technique, so I killed him. Because of the emergency, after I killed him, I took someone directly. I left and headed to the base that Feiwu established at the border. Xiao Ai said and looked at Tsunade, and continued. After destroying that stronghold, 2 days later, I went to the small village where the teacher lived, but the teacher and the others have already left. Because the teacher is wandering, I didn't think much of it, but when I got back to Kumogakure village, Kushina was already waiting for me. Quote. Kushina came to question me, why did I kill someone directly, so that she was beaten by the mistress. Then I explained. Kushina cried, and left after crying. For the next 4 years, Kushina came to Kumogakure village. 3 times, each time I stayed for a while and left, that's all. Quiet. After Xiao Ai finished speaking, everyone was silent. Tsunade's face has recovered, and she doesn't know if she has any regrets in her heart. Lu Han glanced at Tsunade. He really wanted to raise his head and ask the sky, what is all this shit? When are we going to find Kushina? Tsunade asked suddenly, looking up at Lu Han. In a few days, Lu Han replied. Whoosh. A furry little guy suddenly appeared above Xiao Ali's head, who was cooking rice. Shadow cat. Luhan glanced at it, then got up immediately and said, Orochimaru is back, I'll go take a look. Chapter 0947 He will definitely treat you as an enemy. Luhan asked the shadow cat to find Orochimaru. When the shadow cat came back, Orochimaru should at least be outside the village, and Jiraiya should be by Orochimaru's side. After Luhan finished speaking, he got up and disappeared. Some things, he just wanted to talk to Orochimaru alone, so he didn't want to wait for Orochimaru to find out. It was noon, Ludu village was very lively, and the downtown area was extremely noisy. Orochimaru, who was cold and arrogant, and Jiraiya, who was mighty and majestic, quickly jumped from building to building, and quickly approached the mansion where Tsunade lived. Before leaving his side, Shadow Cat had already told him the location of the mansion. Whizzing. The two jumped to the rooftop of a restaurant again, and just as they were about to jump again, Luhan suddenly appeared behind them. Luhan was dressed in a home kimono, like a housewife and a man, with his cuffs rolled up and no mask on. Orochimaru would not be surprised to see Luhan, but he glanced at Jiraiya subconsciously. Luhan didn't hide his identity this time. Jiraiya knew his face. Jiraiya was stunned first, then stunned, and then looked dazed. Lord Hangguang, Orochimaru called, helping Luhan to prove his identity. Yeah, Luhan responded. You. Jiraiya raised her fingers to Luhan, her hands trembled a little, her fingertips were shaking, and she couldn't say what you said. Shish. Luhan put his finger in front of his mouth and said again, don't ask me, go over there, Tsunade and the others are eating, let her explain to you. Luhan really didn't want to meet anyone and explained it again. He can reveal his identity to Jiraiya now because Jiraiya is trustworthy and he will never fight Tsunade. Even if he is very loyal to Sarutobi Hiruzen, even if the most extreme situation arises and he has to make a choice, he will remain neutral. After Luhan finished speaking, he looked at Orochimaru again, tilted his head and said, find a place with no one and talk. Call. Luhan and Orochimaru disappeared on the rooftop one after another, leaving only Jiraiya who was still confused. For a long time, Jiraiya jumped out of the rooftop and moved quickly towards the wealthy area. Not long after. In a cozy lobby. Xiaoai finally started to eat, but he ate very slowly and looked preoccupied. He had a big appetite and used an extra large bowl. In fact, it was a clay pot for soup. The shadow cat scratched Xiaoai's hair again, and looked like a master, again, meowing twice, I want to eat. Ali took a piece of sashimi with chopsticks and handed it to the shadow cat's mouth. The shadow cat just ate the sashimi in his mouth when he heard a pop. Tsunade slapped Xiaoai's hand with chopsticks, and stared at Xiaoai. Is it dirty? Dirty. Xiaoai drooped his head immediately, got up obediently, and carried the shadow cat to the kitchen to get new chopsticks. The disgusted and dirty shadow cat also turned back to swear at Tsunade. Tsunade gave it a sideways look, full of murderous eyes, and the shadow cat turned around immediately, as if nothing had happened. The master's eldest wife can't afford to offend. Boom. The door was slammed open, startling everyone. It was Jiraiya. Come on, what's the hurry? It's Frizzy. Tsunade smiled when he saw the person coming, and then turned to greet Ali who was heading to the kitchen. Ali, bring another set of tableware and chopsticks here. I see the cold light. Jiraiya said, staring at Tsunade, ignoring Raikage, the fourth generation, who was sitting at the dining table. Somewhere in Ludu village, in a grove. Are you injured? Luhan looked at Orochimaru and asked. When he saw Orochimaru for the first time, he found that Orochimaru's breath was unstable. If it wasn't because Orochimaru's face was too pale, he should have been pale at this time. Bloody. Orochimaru nodded, a cold light flashing in his eyes. What happened? It's in Shinying village, which is the commercial village in the southeast of the country of Vortex. The commercial scale can be ranked in the top 10 of the country of Vortex. The force behind it is the village of Omegakure. Orochimaru's voice was slow. Last time you confirmed the pursuit. Tsunade's enemies included Omegakure, and I went over with Jiraiya, and as a result, Matsuri, the elder of the cult, and Chiyo, the consultant elder of Sunagakure village, were all there. Chiyo is here too. Luhan pondered for a while. Chiyo also came to the country of Vortex, either by Hanzo or Black Zetsu. Luhan doesn't know the strength of the elder Matsuri priest of the evil god sect. It's always very strong and weird. Chiyo, she's in her 50s, not too old. She must be stronger than the Chiyo grandmother in the original book. You lost, Luhan asked. I won, Orochimaru said coldly. I started the forbidden technique to hurt myself. Although Jiraiya and I destroyed the village of gods and shadows, the elder Matsuri priest and Chiyo all escaped. Well, I'll let Tsunade treat you later. Luhan nodded and said again, speaking of business. I've already been exposed. Huh, Orochimaru frowned. A few days ago, it was near Ludu village. Luhan began to explain the situation. The new White Zetsu and Black Zetsu came together. They formed a must and also brought Hanzo. Both Hanzo and the new White Zetsu were killed by me, but I still let Black Zetsu run away. Black Zetsu recognized me, and there were Tsunade, Luo Ning, Ali, Shadow. Black Zetsu will definitely tell Uchiha Madara when he goes back. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Uchiha Madara have been in contact with Uchiha Madara through White Zetsu over the years, have been collaborating. Madara will tell Sarutobi Hiruzen that time should have passed a few days. Sarutobi Hiruzen has probably met with Black Zetsu. You know what I mean. Orochimaru looked at Luhan coldly, was silent for a while, and then said coldly, I can't go back to Konoha. Yes. Luhan nodded. You said the Shadow Cat was yours, but it was actually mine. Black Zetsu saw it. Sarutobi Hiruzen would definitely know that if Sarutobi Hiruzen really regarded me as an enemy, he would have thought that we were already in the dark. Cooperate, and he has enough reason to do it to you, because you did kill some Konoha ninjas for the sake of experimentation. Quote. Orochimaru squinted slightly, and there was a dangerous light in his long and narrow eyes, with murderous aura. Sarutobi Hiruzen will definitely treat you as an enemy, Orochimaru said with absolute certainty. Chapter 0948 because he is fake. Orochimaru said with great certainty, but Luhan didn't think so. Sarutobi Hiruzen did everything for his own interests. His interests included protecting Konoha and maintaining his own rule over Konoha. The former was more important than the latter. If Luhan can disregard the past, then Sarutobi Hiruzen will definitely not regard Luhan as an enemy, because he is getting old. Luhan is more qualified to become the next generation of Hokage than Namikaze Minato. The reason why Orochimaru emphasized that Sarutobi Hiruzen would treat Luhan as an enemy was simply because he hoped that Luhan would be hostile to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Orochimaru himself has committed an unforgivable sin, and he knows that he has no way out, sooner or later. He hoped that Luhan would always be in the same camp with him. Nobody is a fool. What should we do? Orochimaru asked coldly. I want to kill Uchiha Madara first. Luhan said. He didn't say whether he would take action against Sarutobi Hiruzen in the future. We can win over some people and divide Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen's rule over Konoha is based on the allegiance of the clan chiefs to him, and he cannot control everyone. Orochimaru said quickly. The two major clans, the Hyuga chief Hyuga and the Uchiha chief Uchiha Fugaku, all his loyal. However, Uchiha Fugaku did not form enough control over the Uchiha clan. It was the elders who really controlled the Uchiha clan. If you go to win over the Uchiha clan on the condition that you cultivate the Uchiha clan as the first big clan, those Uchiha clan elders will definitely be on your side. They have long been dissatisfied with Sarutobi Hiruzen, because Sarutobi Hiruzen put the Hyuga clan in a higher position. Location. Quote. As long as the Uchiha clan moves towards us, a large part of the small and medium-sized clans that are vassals of the Uchiha clan will move closer to us. In this way, we have the capital to fight against Sarutobi Hiruzen, and we can even directly exert pressure on him, using the unfavorable war as an excuse. Reason, forcing him to abdicate. Sarutobi Hiruzen will not watch Konoha fall apart, and that is his weakness. Quote. Orochimaru is really anxious. He doesn't want to be missing Nin. And T ruin Sarutobi Hiruzen. The possibility of Sarutobi Hiruzen taking him is very high. He knows Sarutobi Hiruzen's character too well. Luhan glanced at Orochimaru and thought silently. In fact, Orochimaru's worry is justified. In the original work, Sarutobi Hiruzen was mad at Orochimaru after confirming that Orochimaru killed Konoha ninjas indiscriminately and learned the forbidden technique. It's not the time yet, don't be in a hurry. Luhan was simply dealing with Orochimaru, and added, for the time being, Sarutobi Hiruzen won't touch you. He will definitely question you face to face, and even if he wants to do it, it must be after you go back. Seize the opportunity to round up you directly. You are outside, it is impossible for him to directly declare that you are missing Nin, then he will lose the opportunity to catch you. Quote. I understand. Orochimaru nodded. I have a mission for you. I need you to go back to Konoha once. Sneak in, go back, bring one out for me. Who? Uchiha Makoto. She's very dangerous now, although Sarutobi Hiruzen won't touch her for a while, but it won't be for a long time. Since being discovered by Black Zetsu that day, Luhan has thought of various consequences. He thought of Orochimaru's crisis, and also thought of Uchiha Makoto. Or because of the Shadow Cat, Sarutobi Hiruzen must have thought that since cats are cold light, then Orochimaru is secretly linked with cold light, and Uchiha Makoto must be too. About Luhan and Makoto have been circulating for many years, so it is very natural to think so. However, even if Sarutobi Hiruzen had an idea, he wouldn't move Uchiha Makoto right away. Because he is hypocritical. If it was Hanzo, Makoto could be dead now. But Sarutobi Hiruzen is different. He will think about the necessity of moving Makoto, will think about the consequences, what reasons to arrest Makoto. He can catch Orochimaru because Orochimaru is indeed black, but Makoto is not. Sarutobi Hiruzen has no reason. If he took the initiative to frame Uchiha Makoto, Luhan would think, Orochimaru would think, Konoha executives would also notice that Sarutobi Hiruzen is untenable in terms of righteousness, and this stain may even destroy the great image he has built for a long time. Senju clan he killed was declining in order to create war machines and to win the war. This is righteousness. He planned to kill Uchiha Leong and others because Uchiha Leong was against him, and he killed him in order to maintain Konoha's stability. This is also a righteousness. Sarutobi Hiruzen was responsible for the death of White Fang, but Sarutobi Hiruzen did not design to frame White Fang. White Fang failed in the mission, and he was also responsible. He couldn't bear the pressure and committed suicide. But this time is different. If Sarutobi Hiruzen dares to touch Uchiha Makoto, he can't come up with any valid reason. Once the matter is exposed, he will be lost for fame. So, Makoto is safe for now. Actually, Luhan had thought about going to Konoha to bring Makoto out in person, but he couldn't get away from here. He couldn't leave Tsunade here. It was too dangerous, and he had to wait for Orochimaru to come back. If he missed Orochimaru, I didn't know the situation, so I went directly back to Konoha, then he was really in danger. After you take out Uchiha Makoto, take her directly to Kumogakure village, the land of thunder, and we will wait for you at Kumogakure village. Luhan ordered again. Okay. Orochimaru nodded without hesitation. If Makoto is really targeted by Sarutobi Hiruzen, Anbu will definitely be watching it all day, but taking Makoto away from Konoha with Orochimaru's strength is not a problem, it just needs more time. 3 days later, somewhere in the ninja world, an underground cave. The blue-gray rectangular stone platform, White Zetsu lay calmly, with his eyes closed. Uchiha Madara stood aside, his hands lit up. The most critical moment has come. Uchiha Madara is using the power of yin and yang to force the Senju Hashirama cells. Fusion with White Zetsu. Time passed by minute. Finally, Uchiha Madara took his hand away and White Zetsu opened his eyes. Mission, go to the land of thunder and look for Uzumaki Kushina. The hoarse and low voice echoed in the dark cave. Chapter 0949 _ so important. Konoha Hidden Village, noon. A house hidden in the depths of the woods, in front of the wooden house. Uchiha Makoto was sitting on the rocking chair in casual clothes, holding the little black cat in her arms. She looked unhappy, her face was very lost, and she looked lonely. She hadn't gone out for many days, and even the daily grocery shopping was a little black. Cat do it. Since leaving the Uchiha clan, those clansmen who were friendly to Uchiha Makoto have also cut off contact with her, and even Uchiha Keion has never seen her. She has a bad reputation, these people alienate her, and she has no friends. In fact, Makoto didn't care about that, because that person came back, but he left not long after he came back. Originally Orochimaru often came to see her, and even gave guidance to her to practice, but Orochimaru has been gone for many days. Makoto's heart was already beginning to suffer. True loneliness, for a human being, is a very scary thing. Moreover, in recent days, Makoto always feels that she is being watched, which makes her very uneasy. She knows that Orochimaru is going to the country of Vortex to save Tsunade. Orochimaru told her before leaving, and Hangwang is also there. Meow, I'm going on a mission. The little black cat said suddenly and got up. Makoto smiled, stroked the little black cat's fur, and said softly, go. The little black cat jumped out and quickly left the yard. Makoto turned his head to look, the smile on his face gradually disappeared, his eyes seemed to have lost his vigor, he tilted his head for a while, then slowly closed his eyes and fell asleep. When Makoto woke up again, it was dark and it was cold outside. She was a little tired, so she got up and moved around a bit, then went back to the house and started cooking. She has only been cooking very little food recently, some of which she eats by herself, and some of which are from the little black cat. In the kitchen, Makoto was washing dishes, and it was getting darker and darker outside. Follow me. A cold voice came suddenly behind Makoto. Makoto was startled and turned around quickly, his sleeve slipping out of the kunai's grip, and then he relaxed again. It's Orochimaru. Orochimaru-sama, you are back. Makoto said. Follow me, I'll take you to see the cold light. Orochimaru spoke quickly, we only have 2 minutes, and the Anbu changing of the guard will be completed soon. What? Makoto was taken aback. Explain to you on the way. Orochimaru interrupted Makoto, really running out of time. He returned to Konoha this morning, sneaked in secretly, and observed for a day before finding a chance to take Makoto. Makoto was stunned for a second, and then quickly took off her apron. She was also a ninja, so she naturally concluded that something had happened. It was right to go with Orochimaru. Luhan had entrusted Makoto to Orochimaru for protection. Although Makoto did not trust Orochimaru, but she believed Luhan's arrangement. Follow me, Orochimaru said, turning into a shadow and jumping out of the window. Makoto followed, she was Jonin, so she was not slow. Both of them jumped out of the window and rolled on the spot, then dodged to the wall and moved quickly against the wall. Orochimaru suddenly grabbed Makoto's shoulders and led her into the woods behind the house at super speed. Dive with extreme speed. Because of the sky, the light in the woods was very dim, and Orochimaru was like a ghost with Makoto. Yeah, my cat, Orochimaru-sama, I can't leave her behind. Makoto said suddenly, very anxious. I've seen it, it's waiting for us outside the village now. Orochimaru whispered. Orochimaru is a Super S-rank ninja with extremely rich mission experience. Such a simple task, he naturally will not have any omissions. Makoto regards the little black cat as his closest relative, and Orochimaru knows it. The little black cat can move freely in Konoha, and no one monitors the little black cat. Orochimaru has secretly seen the little black cat in the afternoon, and it is very easy. The forest behind the house is not small, but Orochimaru is extremely fast, and he and Makoto are about to leave the forest and enter a residential area. Sudden. Kai underscore. The sound of breaking through the air suddenly sounded, and a kunai flashed from the slanting thorn. Orochimaru's heart sank, and he stopped abruptly. That Kuwu didn't shoot him, but stopped him, flew right in front of his face, and nailed it to a tree in the distance. Quiet. Dark woods. The wind was moving, only the rustling of leaves. Orochimaru glanced around cautiously. Lord Orochimaru, where do you want to go? In such a hurry. A strange voice suddenly sounded, full of femininity, but it was a male voice. At the same time, the speaker came out from behind the big tree diagonally in front of Orochimaru. A thin and small ninja, dressed in Anbu costume and wearing a mask, his breath is a bit colder than Orochimaru. Konoha Anbu Root Organization Leader, Musashi. Orochimaru was shocked. That he realized that it was not the ordinary Anbu ninja who was monitoring Uchiha Makoto, but a special existence in Anbu, the Root Dead Man. Although the Root organization is established within Anbu, it exists independently. The leader of the Root is only under the orders of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, and the captain of Anbu has no jurisdiction. However, to the outside world, there is no difference between the Root and the Anbu, and they are both called Anbu. Sarutobi Hiruzen is so serious about Uchiha Makoto. Let Root spy on her. Something weird. It should not be taken seriously to this extent. If you don't want to die, get out. Orochimaru said coldly. Wow, that's scary, Musashi said mockingly. Do you want to die? Orochimaru squinted. Murderous. Musashi is not his opponent at all. Although he is very strong, as far as Orochimaru knows, what makes Musashi special is some strange abilities. Compared with his fighting strength, Orochimaru can kill him with one hand. You really want to kill me, you really have nothing to fear. Musashi's voice sank, he could feel the true killing intent in Orochimaru's heart. After a pause, he took a step back, raised his hand and waved a welcome posture, no send. Orochimaru took Uchiha Makoto into a shadow and left quickly. Musashi looked at Orochimaru's back, which quickly disappeared and disappeared. His eyes under the mask shone like a venomous snake. He took out a bamboo tube from his arms and pulled off the top cover. Boom! A ray of fire burst from the bamboo tube, and the line of fire flew to a height of 100 meters, bursting with a bang. Colorful Madara fireworks are in full bloom in the sky. Chapter 0950-Kill Me. It was only night, and the lights in Konoha village were the busiest. Colorful Madara fireworks are shining in the sky. Many people have seen it, but they don't think anything is wrong. It's just fireworks. Every day in Konoha, people set off fireworks, or celebrate birthdays, or men pursue women, or some festivals. Konoha, with a population of tens of thousands, setting off fireworks is a very common thing. Only a few people know that this is Konoha Anbu's pursuit signal. Sarutobi Hiruzen once explained to Musashi that if Orochimaru came back, he wanted to escape from Konoha and catch him, but he could only act in secret and never make things bigger. Anbu plus the Root organization, at least hundreds of senior ninjas saw the signal, and at the same time gave up the current mission, and quickly approached the position where the signal was sent. Although many of them did not know who the enemy was, this did not prevent them from gathering in the woods. After Musashi finished sending the signal, he stared at the direction where Orochimaru disappeared. Suddenly, his body shrank, turned into a shadow, and quickly approached Orochimaru. Whoosh! Musashi let out a strange whistle. This is the positioning whistle, and the Anbu ninja who came over will use this whistle to determine the location of Musashi, and as long as Musashi follows Orochimaru, it will not take long for Orochimaru to be surrounded. No matter how strong Orochimaru is, it is impossible to fight against the entire Anbu, and if they really fight, it will not benefit Orochimaru at all. If it gets too big, Anbu will not be the only one who catches him. Musashi's purpose is not to force Orochimaru to rebel directly, or to besiege him, because according to Sarutobi Hiruzen's order, for the time being, he just wants to talk to him. Orochimaru took Uchiha Makoto to move very fast, Because he had been discovered by Musashi, he had no scruples, did not hide, took the nearest road, and went straight to the outside of the village. Orochimaru is worried. He didn't care about Anbu. Without Sarutobi Hirazen's direct order, Anbu didn't dare to do anything to him. He didn't kill anyone. He was worried that it was Sarutobi Hirazen himself. If Sarutobi Hirazen came over in person, Orochimaru's chances of escaping would be very low. In the downtown area, in the bustling restaurant high-rise, Hatake Taishuo was wearing a ninja suit and no mask, sitting by the window in the box, eating alone. 10 years later, since his teacher Han Guang died, Hatake Taishuo has become withdrawn, but he still has a close friend, White Fang. But White Fang also died 7 years ago. After that, Hatake Taishuo was promoted to Captain Anbu. His friends became less and less. Today, even those ninjas who were members of the S group are no longer Hatake Taishuo's friend. Eating, there are still people accompanying him when he is stationed in Anbu, but if he is outside, Hatake Taishuo is always alone. Hatake Taishuo suddenly raised his head and frowned and looked out the window. In the distance, beautiful fireworks are blooming. Although it was very far away, the fireworks were so bright that Hatake Taishuo could see clearly. This is the highest level Anbu chase signal. Hatake Taishuo, who is the captain of Anbu, only Musashi is left with the right to release this signal. Hatake Taishuo's eyes turned cold. He dropped his chopsticks, picked up the mask on the corner of the table, put it on, and disappeared. After a few minutes, in the residential area in the northwest of Konoha village, Hatake Taishuo was walking quickly through the woods. The ground suddenly shook, and a deafening roar sounded almost at the same time. Hatake Taishuo was startled and jumped on the branch 20 meters above the tree. Look into the distance. 200 meters in front of him was billowing with smoke and dust, and the neighing of snakes could still be faintly heard. Because it was already dark and the smoke and dust were added, Hatake Taishuo could not see the situation in front of him clearly. What's going on? Hatake Taishuo frowned. He could already feel Orochimaru's breath, but, as Anbu's captain, he didn't know that this action was aimed at Orochimaru. Ahead, the abandoned residential area. 2 or 3 adjacent houses have been destroyed. There is a large pit on the ground with a diameter of tens of meters. Hundreds of large white pythons more than 10 meters long are scattered around the pit, spitting letters at the surrounding, staring at the orangutan. Yuhi's eyes made a threatening sound. On the surrounding trees, walls, and ruins of houses, there were about 40 Anbu ninjas, half of whom were root, and more Anbu ninjas didn't come. Orochimaru, you really dare to do it? Musashi, standing on the tree, said grimly. Hey! Orochimaru took Uchiha Makoto to stand in the middle of the snake group, and while sneering, glanced around. He made a move and made a big move, but he didn't kill anyone. He knew very well that shocking and deterring was more beneficial to him than killing. Death to those who block me! Orochimaru roared coldly, then took Makoto and turned into a shadow, breaking through to the northwest. The group of snakes also moved at this moment. They didn't attack anyone, but they all wandered and raised their triangular heads, forming a counter-encirclement block to those Anbu ninjas. The Anbu ninja hesitated. They didn't know why they wanted to capture Orochimaru. And it was Musashi who ordered. Musashi is the leader of the route, not the captain of Anbu. Normally, Musashi can also command the Anbu ninja mission, but if the target is Orochimaru, then there is a problem. Orochimaru is Sarutobi Hirazen's most valued direct disciple and a strong contender for the next generation of Hokage. If Orochimaru had just killed someone, Anbu ninja would naturally not hesitate, not to mention what Orochimaru did before. Killing Anbu ninja was a crime, but Orochimaru didn't kill, just shocked. Orochimaru's breakout is very smooth. Only a dozen or so root ninjas started immediately, but they were temporarily stopped by the group of snakes, and Orochimaru got away calmly. Go! What are you waiting for? Musashi shouted coldly to the hesitant Anbu ninjas. At this time, call. Hatake Teishuo appeared beside Musashi like a ghost, standing on the same branch. Hatake Teishuo glanced at Musashi and asked hoarsely, "What's going on?" Orochimaru is suspected of assassinating 46 Konoha residents. I am under the order of Hokage-sama to carry out the arrest mission. Yeah, Hatake Teishuo responded with a nasal voice, looked in the direction Orochimaru was leaving, and ran after him. Chapter 0951 Kurigakure Blade. Anbu Captain Hatake Teishuo, codenamed Wu Feng, is 41 years old, in his prime, and he is the strongest ninja in Konoha Anbu. Konoha swordsmanship is the strongest. The overall strength is also the top 5 horror existences in Konoha, second only to Sarutobi Hiruzen and Namikaze Minato, and equal to Jiraiya and Orochimaru. His strength is no less than Orochimaru. But it's not necessarily that they can beat Orochimaru. Their strength has reached their level. Because the gap is too small, it is not only the strength itself that determines the outcome of the battle, but also the mood, thoughts, state, and even whether you have enough to eat. One of the determining factors. Hatake Teishuo is good at speed. Orochimaru escaped from Konoha with Makoto. Fortunately, although he was found, only Anbu was chasing him, the village was not blocked, and he didn't know what Sarutobi Hiruzen was thinking, and he didn't seem to want to make a big deal. Anbu and the ninjas of the Root organization are all chasing Orochimaru. Hatake Teishuo is the fastest. Although he has encountered the big python many times, he is not affected much. 10 kilometers from the village. There are fewer and fewer ninjas following Orochimaru, because they can't keep up. Orochimaru is too fast, most of the Anbu ninjas are thrown away, and only a few who are good at speed and strong enough still follow. Hatake Teishuo is getting closer and closer to Orochimaru. If it weren't for the darkness, coupled with Orochimaru's strong escape ability, strange methods, and always putting snakes to stop him, Hatake Teishuo would have caught up long ago. However, in terms of speed, Hatake Teishuo is not as good as the White Fang of the Year, let alone Hanguang. Hatake Teishuo's strength lies in his quick knife, he wields his knife fast, and the rhythm of battle is outrageous, but his ability to chase and escape is also strong, but not to the level of pervert. White Fang in speed and sword skills. White Fang relies on the speed of his body to quickly approach the enemy to form a sharp knife, while Hatake Teishuo can cut hundreds or thousands of knives in a second in melee combat, and the speed is different. 15 kilometers northwest of Konoha village. Running here, even Musashi was thrown away. Compared with Orochimaru and Hatake Teishuo, Musashi's strength is very different. The main reason is that the latter two are too strong. He was able to move at super high speed before, which is a secret technique. He can't maintain the high-speed movement of the secret technique for a long time. Gradually, Hatake Teishuo was the only one who was chasing Orochimaru. Orochimaru can't get rid of Hatake Teishuo at all. Moreover, he has been trying to block Hatake Teishuo's pursuit with various secret techniques, so he was not really caught up, but he couldn't get rid of it. As long as this situation lasts for a long time, Orochimaru consumes more chakra, and he was caught up by Hatake Teishuo. In the dark forest, the wind is howling, the leaves are rustling. Orochimaru fled with extreme speed with Uchiha Makoto. Cat, my cat. Makoto thought of the little black cat again. No matter how urgent the situation was, she couldn't let it go. Shut up, Orochimaru snorted coldly. He wouldn't care about that little black cat. He really couldn't be stopped by Hatake Teishuo. Orochimaru was not sure of defeating Hatake Teishuo. Although he was confident that he would not lose, if he was dragged by Hatake Teishuo, there would be more Anbu ninjas come, and maybe even Sarutobi Hiruzen himself. So getting rid of Hatake Teishuo is the key. If you don't get rid of it, Orochimaru may not be able to leave today. Orochimaru, you let go of Uchiha Makoto. You must know that Anbu doesn't accept hostage threats. If it's a man, let it go. Hatake Teishuo, who was chasing after him, suddenly shouted. Orochimaru was taken aback, Hitachi Taishuo actually thought that Uchiha Makoto was being held hostage. After thinking about it, Orochimaru understood again. It should be Sarutobi Hiruzen who directly handed the task to Musashi, and let the root organization take charge. Hitachi Taishuo did not know the specific situation of Akatsuki's task. Weird. Orochimaru felt that something was wrong, but he didn't immediately think of what was wrong. Master Wufang, I'm not being held hostage, stop chasing. Uchiha Makoto suddenly responded to Hitachi Taishuo loudly. Huh, Hitachi Taishuo frowned suddenly. Orochimaru, who was running wildly, took Makoto in one hand, and suddenly flicked the other hand, and the chain of curse seals flew out of his sleeve and hit the ground. He quickly ran away, and Hitachi Taishuo also chased after him. Boom _. The ground exploded and black light shone, forming a black screen that could obscure people's sight. Dozens of curse marks rushed out of the ground like snakes, and slammed towards Hitachi Taishuo. To his life, but at least temporarily seal his chakra flow speed, he must go back to the village, find someone to unlock the seal. Hitachi Taishuo's reaction was extremely fast, his waist twisted, and the sword light was like rain. Yingbai's sword light rain destroyed everything around him. Hitachi Taishuo was only 2 steps behind before breaking through this trap and continuing to chase Orochimaru. He is a pure ninja of taijutsu and swordsmanship. The master has very little ninjutsu. For all kinds of strange attacks, he has only one solution, to break it with the sword. Carrying an incomparably huge chakra impact with the knife light, because all kinds of techniques are composed of chakra, as long as his chakra impact is strong enough, it is enough to shatter the opponent in essence. In fact, Hitachi Taishuo has gone out of his way. Although he inherited it from Hangguang, Hangguang switched to using the Sword of Astonishment as his main weapon in the Middle and Late World War II, which was a great sword, while Hitachi Taishuo used a sickle. 20 kilometers northwest of Konoha village. Hitachi Taishuo finally got close to Orochimaru within 100 meters. At this distance, as long as Orochimaru paused a little, Hitachi Taishuo ran wild and could catch up with one breath. Hitachi Taishuo raised the sickle in his hand and injected chakra into it. The fog is rising. With Hitachi Taishuo as the center, it quickly spread to the surroundings, and after a few breaths, Orochimaru in front was also engulfed by the thick fog. Blade of the damn Kurigakure. Orochimaru's face changed, and his speed dropped sharply. He couldn't see the road clearly, and if he kept going at extreme speed, he would hit a tree. Hitachi Taishuo seized the opportunity, flashed in front of Orochimaru, and slashed out. Orochimaru's back is cold, dodge and hide. Immediately afterwards, he realized that Hitachi Taishuo did not do his best, but just wanted to interfere with him and stop him. Hitachi Taishuo appeared right in front of Orochimaru. Chapter 0952_understand. Was stopped. The distance is too close. Orochimaru is still carrying a person. It is very difficult to get away. With Hitachi Taishuo's strength, it is not a problem to fight with him all day and night. Don't follow me. Orochimaru snorted coldly, clasping Uchiha Makoto's neck with one hand. Thick fog did not dissipate, but the central area spread out a little, so Orochimaru could see Hitachi Taishuo, and it was the thick fog of the nature of ninjutsu that could affect the sight of the ninja, not the night. Anbu does not accept hostage threats. Hitachi Taishuo said hoarsely. He glanced at Uchiha Makoto. Makoto had said before that he was not being held hostage, but now Orochimaru is holding her hostage again, taking her as a threat. Which one is true? Is she a hostage? It is possible. Although she said before that she was not being held hostage, it was likely that Orochimaru forced her to control her. However, none of this matters. Anbu, or Hitachi Taishuo himself, really does not accept hostage threats. He is known as Konoha's most ruthless Captain Anbu ever, not just talking. If you don't accept it, then you do it. You try. Orochimaru grinned, his eyes flashing dangerously. Hitachi Taishuo's eyes swept to Uchiha Makoto's face again. He used to protect Uchiha Makoto because of the cold light, but now. Orochimaru, why are you obsessed? Come back with me, you are the most important direct disciple of Lord Hokage. As long as you admit your mistake, many people will protect you. Are you afraid? You hesitated, why didn't you do it? Why do you? It's just killing some people. Lord Hokage won't really kill you. It can't be done. Or he won't just let us Anbu do it, and you won't be able to escape Konoha. Murder. Orochimaru was taken aback. No. Hatake Taishuo chased after Orochimaru murder. But Orochimaru knows that killing is only an excuse. Sarutobi Hiruzen has no conclusive evidence at all. The real reason is because Orochimaru secretly colluded with Han Guang. Hatake Taishuo doesn't know the real reason. Was monitoring Uchiha Makoto before, that is to say, the root leader Musashi was really responsible for the task. Hatake Taishuo may really not know the real reason. Hatake Taishuo has betrayed Han Guang. Why didn't Sarutobi Hiruzen tell his #1 confidant? Are you worthy of your teacher for doing this? Orochimaru said suddenly, a glint in his eyes. Teacher, Hatake Taishuo muttered in a low voice, then glanced at Uchiha Makoto again. How much does it have to do with my teacher? She is not my wife. Really wrong. Hatake Taishuo completely misunderstood the meaning of Orochimaru. Teacher, are you embarrassed to mention your sister? Orochimaru choked out. Tsunade was in danger in the country of Vortex not long ago. I asked you to send more manpower to support you, but you didn't agree. Also ask Sarutobi Hiruzen. You even got a few scoldings. I dare not bear the consequences, ha. It's ridiculous. Quote. I have a clear conscience. Hatake Taishuo said coldly, again. You dare to say that you have a clear conscience? You really dare to say that? Orochimaru became very excited. Of course he pretended. He wanted to use Hatake Taishuo's words. Do you remember how Lord White Fang died? Hatake Taishuo suddenly interrupted Orochimaru. His heart was already restless. Of course, we all know, don't we? Orochimaru stared at Hatake Taishuo. I don't want to go the old way of Lord White Fang. I don't want to. Hatake Taishuo said seriously. Orochimaru froze slightly. His eyes flickered twice before he understood what Hatake Taishuo meant, and grinned mockingly. You mean, you're afraid that you will mobilize Anbu Ninja privately, Sarutobi Hiruzen will not trust him? Are you afraid of losing his trust? Quote. Hatake Taishuo paused before admitting. Ha ha, you are so funny. Orochimaru had an unnatural Yuhi look on his face, and he spoke quickly. You are so loyal to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Afraid of losing his trust. Afraid of losing your current power. It's not like that. What's not? It's not. Dare you say no? You clearly know that Sarutobi Hiruzen is working with your teacher's enemy. You know that Sarutobi Hiruzen has been assassinating your teacher's loyalists all the time, and you are still loyal to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Not to mention the second, ha, what a clear conscience. Where's your face? You ungrateful villain. If it wasn't for Han Guang to teach you back then, how would you be today? You would have died in the war long ago. Look at the knife in your hand. Who gave it to you? Who? You have a clear conscience. Ha. Orochimaru laughed angrily, as if he was so saddened by Lu Hanming's grievance that he was finally venting his anger. Hatake Taishuo's hand holding the blade of Kurigakure clenched subconsciously, his knuckles turned white, and he looked at Orochimaru with cold eyes, motionless. Just watched Orochimaru laughing. He didn't speak until Orochimaru finished laughing. I have troubles. What trouble do you have? Put away your disgusting remarks. You have been with Sarutobi Hiruzen for so long, even the hypocrisy is exactly the same as him. I have troubles. What's the trouble? Tell me. Can you say it? Really? Why did you betray your teacher? Why did you give your life to Sarutobi Hiruzen? Why? Orochimaru stared at Hatake Taishuo, waiting for his answer. Hatake Taishuo and Orochimaru looked at each other. Silence. It seemed that even the wind had stopped. The two looked at each other, never leaving, watching. Lord Hokage's cooperation with Uchiha Madara is just an expedient measure. Hatake Taishuo's hand trembled while holding the knife, and his voice became darker. He will definitely find an opportunity to have face-to-face contact with Uchiha Madara. He was imprisoned by Uchiha Madara for 2 years. Uchiha Madara is the scourge of the ninja world. Lord Hokage will take revenge. He will kill Uchiha Madara both in public and private. He promised me, after finding Uchiha Madara, he will give me the opportunity to kill Uchiha Madara with his own hands. I'm going to kill Uchiha Madara. I want to avenge the teacher. Understood. Hatake Taishuo's body was tense. He was shaking, staring at Orochimaru with bloodshot eyes. Chapter 0953_surprise. Frightened. The night is thick, and the moon is tipped. Hatake Taishuo was very excited. Although he tried his best to suppress his emotions, Orochimaru could still see it. Otherwise he would not have been able to tell this secret, a secret that only he and Sarutobi Hiruzen knew. It's a secret and a promise. Orochimaru doesn't feel that Sarutobi Hiruzen deceived Hatake Taishuo, because Sarutobi Hiruzen is really that kind of person. Although he is working with Uchiha Madara now, he will definitely kill Uchiha Madara whenever he has the chance. Because Uchiha Madara is a very unstable scourge. So, Sarutobi Hiruzen is telling the truth. If possible, he will give Hatake Taishuo the chance to kill Uchiha Madara with his own hands. Orochimaru believes that Sarutobi Hiruzen is such a person. Hatake Taishuo also believes in Sarutobi Hiruzen's promise. This is the reason for his allegiance to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Everything makes sense. At that time, he didn't help Tsunade because he was afraid of losing Sarutobi Hiruzen's trust, because saving Tsunade was no more important than revenge for Han Guang. Ha, so it is. It is so. Ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. Orochimaru suddenly laughed. Am I funny? Hatake Taishuo tilted his head slightly. Sen coldly asked. No, it's not you, but Sarutobi Hiruzen. Ha ha ha. No wonder you don't know the real reason why Sarutobi Hiruzen arrested me. No wonder Uchiha Makoto is a root ninja, not your Anbu ninja. No wonder, haha. He's hiding it from you. That's how it is. Orochimaru spoke very quickly, laughing harshly. He finally understands. Hatake Taishuo didn't even know about Han Guang's resurrection. Sarutobi Hiruzen was hiding it from him. In this way, all kinds of abnormal before, it all makes sense. Example, why is the root organization ninja spying on Uchiha Makoto? It's not that Sarutobi Hiruzen really takes Uchiha Makoto so seriously, but because this matter can't be left to Hatake Taishuo at all. Sarutobi Hiruzen did not dare to tell the truth to Hatake Taishuo at all, because once Hatake Taishuo knew that Han Guang was resurrected, Sarutobi Hiruzen would conflict with Han Guang. Hatake Taishuo would inevitably fall to the latter and follow his teacher instead of continuing to be loyal to Sarutobi Hiruzen. The real reason for arresting you. Hatake Taishuo squinted at Orochimaru. What else is there, and what did you do wrong? It's not that I did anything wrong, it's not me. Orochimaru had a sullen smile on his face. It's because of your teacher, Hengguang. Hatake Taishuo looked at Orochimaru silently. He obviously didn't understand what Orochimaru meant. What does it have to do with cold energy? The teacher has passed away for 10 years. This may be a surprise or a fright for you. Orochimaru let go of the hand that was holding Makoto's neck while speaking. I told you that you may not believe it, but I want to tell you, ha 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 ha. Orochimaru probably laughed more this year than the previous year. Hatake Taishuo frowned suddenly. His eyes flashed, and he swept to Uchiha Makoto. Makoto was released, and instead of moving away from Orochimaru, he stood beside Orochimaru. Is she being held hostage? Hatake Taishuo already understood that the two were acting just now. Say something. I'm listening. Hatake Taishuo looked at Orochimaru again. The 15th day of last month was the 10th anniversary of Han Guang's death. Orochimaru stared at Hatake Taishuo. He was resurrected on that day. Konoha Hidden Village, Back Mountain Forest. Black Zetsu stood on the tree. His body was hidden in the shadows, only the sound came from time to time. Sarutobi Hiruzen stood under the tree with his hands behind his back, his expression extremely serious. For the past few days, Sarutobi Hiruzen has been meeting with Black Zetsu almost every day. On the one hand, they exchange information, and on the other hand, they make arrangements for the Cold Light and the Ninja World War. The secret conversation between the two was the longest in the past few days and had lasted for 3 hours. Regarding Han Guang, they have already negotiated the results, and now they are talking about the Ninja World War. Sarutobi Hiruzen is going to win this ninja war. Helping him win the war is the condition offered by Black Zetsu. Uchiha Madara hopes to get Hangguang's life and death art, and also hopes that Hangguang can die in the future. Naturally, it would be easier if Sarutobi Hiruzen was willing to cooperate. I will arrange for Kurigakure to contain Kumogakure village, Sunagakure village over there, Jiraiya and Orochimaru wounded Chiyo. I will reveal to them that Hangguang is resurrected and become Konoha missing Nin, prompting them to unite with you Konoha, Iwagakure village over there. I can only say try to mediate as much as possible. After all, this ninja war is what you are fighting. If they still refuse to give up fighting Konoha, then I will push Sunagakure to send troops to Iwagakure. Black Zetsu's hoarse voice in the forest reverberate. What I want is not just for Iwagakure to retreat, but for them to admit defeat. Sarutobi Hiruzen resolutely said. I understand that as long as the alliance between Sunagakure and Konoha can be facilitated, Iwagakure will be defeated. Black Zetsu replied, also, now that Hanzo is dead, and Omegakure village is in civil strife, I will try to control Omegakure village and let Omegakure village fight with you. Iwagakure village. Okay. Then, Sarutobi Hiruzen's voice stopped abruptly and looked back. He felt that someone was approaching here quickly, a familiar atmosphere. He's here, Black Zetsu said, looking in that direction, not hiding. Call. A thin figure emerged from the darkness of the forest and suddenly stopped in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen. It's Musashi. Lord Hokage. What's wrong? Orochimaru is back. Oh, Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned, have you caught it? No, let him run away, he took Uchiha Makoto. Musashi quickly said, Anbu all chased out, but they couldn't keep up with Orochimaru's speed. Only Wufang, he followed, should be able to catch up, but he may not be able to beat Orochimaru. Wufang. Sarutobi Hiruzen's pupils shrank violently, his face changed greatly, and then he became furious. Who told you to notify Wufang? I'll give you this task. Why do you want to notify Wufang? Musashi was taken aback, somewhat confused. You didn't say that you couldn't notify Hatake Taishuo, why can't you? The root organization ability is not enough, let Anbu assist, is this wrong? For the first time, Musashi looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen with incomprehensible eyes. He could see that there was real anger in Sarutobi Hiruzen. Why are you angry? Chapter 0954_You're bad. Although Musashi is the leader of the root, he does not know the agreement between Sarutobi Hiruzen and Hatake Taishuo. That really is an unspoken secret. Musashi made a mistake, but it was an unintentional mistake. His task ability is extremely strong, and he strictly follows the task rules. Sarutobi Hiruzen told him to act in secret, so he acted in secret, told him not to make things bigger, and he just informed him Anbu. When the root organization encounters a difficult task, it is customary to ask Anbu to assist in the task. Perhaps it was because Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't say it too thoroughly. The so-called secret operation, don't make things too big, meaning that this task can only be done by the most mysterious root organization, and other troops are not allowed to intervene. Musashi didn't fully understand what Sarutobi Hiruzen meant. He can read people's hearts and it's true, but he can only see right and wrong, good and evil, mood swings, that's all, that's not mind reading. Sarutobi Hiruzen was so angry that he seemed to be going crazy, and he didn't know who to blame. He didn't forbid Musashi to ask Anbu to cooperate with the mission at that time. Lord Hokage, you are hiding something from me. Musashi's eyes flickered. Damn it. You've done something wrong. Sarutobi Hiruzen yelled angrily. What's the matter? What's wrong? Black Zetsu on the tree suddenly said. With his wisdom and speed of thinking, he couldn't understand why he couldn't let Hatake Taishuo catch Orochimaru. When Musashi came, he already felt that Black Zetsu was here, and he was not surprised. He knew all about Sarutobi Hiruzen and White Zetsu, Black Zetsu, and Uchiha Madara. Don't let Wufang know about Hengguang's resurrection. Sarutobi Hiruzen bit Kiba. Why not? Didn't he already pledge his allegiance to you? Black Zetsu asked rhetorically. Silent. Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly calmed down, and he realized that he had made a slip of the tongue. Looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen, Musashi's eyes flashed, and he was even more puzzled. He saw worry, nervousness, and deceitful thoughts in Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart. Exactly. What's the situation? Sarutobi Hiruzen was about to bite his kiba into pieces. What the hell happened today? Musashi made a mistake, and he made a mistake too. He naturally couldn't tell Black Zetsu that the reason why Hatake Taishuo was loyal to him was that he promised him to find an opportunity to let him kill Uchiha Madara. Revenge for his teacher, Hongguang. And he just made a slip of the tongue, saying that Hatake Taishuo couldn't know that Hongguang was resurrected. He can't explain it now. Originally, he had already designed it to use Hatake Taishuo's strategy to attract cold light, but now it is very likely that he will not be able to use it. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't answer Black Zetsu's question, but looked at Musashi again uncertainly. Lead the way, where did they go? ... In the dark forest, it has been silent for a while. Orochimaru said that the cold light was resurrected, and Hatake Taishuo looked at Orochimaru, and kept watching without saying a word. You lied to me. Hatake Taishuo's eyes became extremely gloomy. He didn't like anyone using his teacher to play tricks. I knew you wouldn't believe me. This is really unbelievable. Orochimaru had already felt the murderous aura on Hatake Taishuo, but he didn't care. But Hongguang is indeed resurrected. He is still the same as powerful. Oh yes, Hanzo has been killed by Hongguang. Anbu should have received the exact news soon. You should understand Sarutobi Hiruzen's true attitude towards Hongguang. The real reason he wanted to arrest me is because I secretly united with Hongguang. Remember that purple cat? It's not mine, it's cold. I hate cats so much myself. Now, Sarutobi Hiruzen has concealed the news of Hongguang's resurrection from you. It seems that he has already made a move on Hongguang. Between Uchiha Madara and Hongguang, Sarutobi Hiruzen chose Uchiha Madara because Uchiha Madara can still bring him benefits, and Hongguang. He will seek revenge for Sarutobi Hiruzen. He will threaten Sarutobi Hiruzen's position and seize power. Sarutobi Hiruzen killed Uchiha Liang and White Fang. It is doomed, they can only be enemies. You lied to me. You still don't believe it. You lied to me. He didn't lie to you. Uchiha Makoto couldn't help but say, he is indeed back. He let the shadow. It's the cat, protect me, so the shadow is in trouble. I and Orochimaru-sama have been in trouble for the past 10 years. Don't you think it's strange that there is no intersection? We suddenly have an intersection. It's because of the cold light. Hatake Taishuo turned to stare at Uchiha Makoto, as if trying to see the flaw in her expression. Meow. A small black shadow suddenly emerged from the darkness and jumped directly onto Uchiha Makoto's shoulders. Looking very tired, he fell down. It had been waiting for Orochimaru and Uchiha Makoto outside the village, and when it saw Orochimaru and Makoto leaving quickly, it chased, and only now has it come here. The little black cat came back to Makoto. Makoto tilted his head and glanced at it, then smiled, then withdrew his smile and looked at Hatake Taishuo, raised his hand and pointed at the little black cat. It also knows. What? The little black cat hasn't figured out what's going on here. The situation of Hongguang, Orochimaru said, looking at Hatake Taishuo, tell him. The little black cat looked at a few people and understood, and said, Lord Hengwang has come back to life, and he stayed with us for a while. He only left at the end of last month and went to look for Lord Tsunade. Orochimaru confirmed. Uchiha Makoto confirmed. Little black cat confirmed. Hatake Taishuo glanced back and forth, and his heart was full of storms. Really? Fake. He naturally hoped it was true, but he suspected that it was Orochimaru's conspiracy, that Orochimaru was just making up a story and trying to get away. No, Hatake Taishuo suddenly said, he found the problem, Orochimaru. You can't lie to me. Assuming that my teacher is really resurrected, and Lord Hokage is hostile to my teacher, then, as Lord Hokage's most valued direct disciple, how can you help my teacher? Aren't you standing with Hokage-sama? Because I really killed Konoha's people. Orochimaru answered the question immediately, looking at Hatake Taishuo with a sneering smile. Sarutobi Hiruzen has been checking me. With his hypocritical character, even though I have suffered countless lives and deaths for Konoha, hundreds of battles were made, and he would kill me too, and he wanted to prove to others that he was competent. His justice, his greatness. Chapter 0955 Let him run. To the northwest of Konoha village, there is a vast forest. Sarutobi Hiruzen, with the breath of futon wind-style chakra wafting through his body, stooped through the forest quickly. Musashi was behind him, closely following Sarutobi Hiruzen's footsteps, but was thrown farther and farther and gradually couldn't keep up. Sarutobi Hiruzen no longer needs Musashi to lead the way, because Orochimaru and Hatake Taishuo have fought many times along the way, leaving some traces. Damn it! Sarutobi Hiruzen was very impatient, and went berserk. He wishes he could catch up. It is best that Hatake Taishuo is still entangled with Orochimaru. The two have not had a detailed dialogue. As long as Orochimaru has not said anything about the resurrection of Hongguang, there is a chance to recover. Hatake Taishuo's current role is by no means weaker than the White Fang's role in Sarutobi Hiruzen back then. Moreover, Hatake Taishuo knows too many secrets of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Once Hatake Taishuo rebels, it will have a terrifying blow to Sarutobi Hiruzen and Konoha. I know, it's hard for you to believe, no matter how much evidence there is, unless Hongguang can appear in front of you in person, you will still doubt it. Orochimaru stared at Hatake Taishuo. I said this to you today. I didn't intend to make you really believe it, I just told you the truth. You lied to me together, are you trying to get me out of the way? Hatake Taishuo interrupted Orochimaru. Us. You said we too, what's wrong with Uchiha Makoto? Do you know, why did you arrest Uchiha Makoto? Orochimaru asked back. Hatake Taishuo at once, yes, what's wrong with Uchiha Makoto? You can catch me, I did kill someone, but let Makoto go first. She didn't do anything wrong. Orochimaru grinned. He is attracting Hatake Taishuo to think, what did Uchiha Makoto do wrong? Why did Makoto voluntarily leave Orochimaru, and why did the root organization monitor her? Something is going on here. There is a secret that Hatake Taishuo doesn't know. Hatake Taishuo has already felt it, and there is indeed an inside story, so. Is what Orochimaru said true or false? Actually, it's very simple for you to confirm whether Hengwang is resurrected. First, you go to Haoshan Forest to monitor Hengwang's tomb and see if the body is still there. Second, you can go to Kumogakure village, the land of thunder, where Hengwang is. After he found Tsunade and others in the country of Vortex, he went to Kumogakure village. As you said, I just killed people. Is it a big sin? You don't think it's a big deal, and I don't think it's a big deal, so is it necessary for me to make up such a complicated lie to you? Think about it, you give way or we fight. Sarutobi Hiruzen is going to kill your teacher now. Are you really going to work for him? Hatake Taishuo was silent, clenching the handle of the Kurigakure blade. Letter, or not believe. If Orochimaru said these words alone, Hatake Taishuo would definitely not believe it, but Uchiha Makoto, who had a crush on his teacher, also confirmed it, which is different. Oh yes, remember the robbery of White Fang's tomb? Orochimaru said again. Huh. Hatake Taishuo frowned when his thoughts were interrupted. Hangguang did it. Orochimaru grinned. He is not disrespectful to White Fang. White Fang is his best friend. He stole White Fang's body in order to revive White Fang. Do you believe it? Hatake Taishuo's body trembled. A lot of weird things have happened recently, such as the theft of White Fang's tomb. Orochimaru has a space-time ninja cat. Orochimaru has a special relationship with Uchiha Makoto. Uchiha Makoto is being watched. These abnormal things can be explained by Orochimaru. This doesn't fit Orochimaru's character. If it wasn't necessary, Orochimaru wouldn't do such nonsense at all, hit him if he wanted to. Orochimaru was never afraid of fighting, but he didn't just say it, he said it in great detail. Hatake Taishuo's body trembled slightly. Really? Is that true? Orochimaru suddenly looked at Uchiha Makoto, grabbed Uchiha Makoto's shoulders, turned into a shadow, and quickly left to the north. Orochimaru is impatient, and if he drags on, whether Hatake Taishuo believes it or not, Sarutobi Hiruzen may come over. He wants to force Hatake Taishuo to make a decision. To fight or not to fight. Hatake Taishuo was stunned for a moment, then turned his head to look in the direction Orochimaru was leaving. Because of his momentary hesitation, he had missed the best chance to stop Orochimaru. Of course, he could still chase now, but it was nothing more than another chase and spat. He didn't move. He didn't fully trust Orochimaru either. He planned to go back and check. Compared to the resurrection of the teacher, Orochimaru just killed some people, some unimportant people, just trivial things. After a few minutes. In the vast forest under the night, the wind is endless. Hatake Taishuo was rushing towards Konoha village, while Sarutobi Hiruzen was chasing after the trail. Two winds approached quickly, and the two met unexpectedly. Looking at each other, they all stopped. Lord Hokage. What about people? Let him run away. You can't catch up with him. Almost. Hatake Taishuo's voice was calm, as cold as ever. Sarutobi Hiruzen stared into Hatake Taishuo's eyes. He wanted to see the flaw, but he couldn't. As Anbu's captain, if Hatake Taishuo could easily make people see the flaw, then he would have committed suicide. Unfortunately, Musashi did not follow, so Sarutobi Hiruzen was not sure whether Hatake Taishuo was telling the truth or a lie. 2 days later, on a sunny morning, the southern seaport of the Land of Thunder. The seaboat slowly docked, dressed up as mysterious Luhan, Tsunade, Hyuga Luo Ning, Ali and others, along with Xiao Ai, who was arrogant, and there were dozens of Kumogakure senior ninjas behind them, all of whom were close to Xiao Ai. Wei, Xiao Ai left them in Yihai village before. Orochimaru should arrive today, or tomorrow. Luhan whispered. Yeah, Tsunade responded with a nasal voice, knowing that Orochimaru was going to pick up Uchiha Makoto. After everyone got ashore, they rushed to Kumogakure village. The distance is not too far. The location of Kumogakure village in the Land of Thunder is close to the south coast. Hours later, noon. Everyone arrived at the south gate of Kumogakure village and was about to follow Xiao Ai in. Huh, Luhan suddenly exclaimed in surprise. Has Yuhi name? The insight map shows that at this moment there is a Yuhi name in Kumogakure village that does not show the strength level, White Zetsu. Chapter 0956 The Ant of Kumogakure Village. Deep in the village of Kumogakure, open-air combat arena. Wearing a strong suit with red hair, Yuhi stood proudly in the middle of the martial arts arena. There were about 24 Kumogakure ninjas lying on the ground with bruised noses and swollen faces. You guys, 10 are lazy, and you practice hard, huh? They're all idiots. Yuhi sent the woman to scold the circle of people again, and began to be proud again, raised her chin and said, it looks like there are a few. If you are not convinced, come if you are not convinced. Quote. A group of big men all stood up gruntingly, with wry smiles on their faces. Not that they couldn't beat Kushina, but they didn't dare to kill him at all. This is Grandma. Whoever really hurts Kushina no matter what, just stare at Hokage and get angry. They can't be provoked, and they can't hide. So bullying. On the edge of the martial arts arena, there are still several elderly ninjas with extraordinary bearing. Kumogakure Jonin, who was beaten, turned his head and cast a look of help at the ninjas. These ninjas didn't look like they had seen them, they still laughed and communicated in a low voice, commenting on the previous discussions. They are all the top powerhouses in Kumogakure village, the weakest can beat Kushina, the strongest can beat Kushina with one hand. Kushina is also bullying the soft and afraid of the hard, and dare not provoke them. They are so thankful that they can't afford to be entangled with this ant. Look at your cowardice, I'm hungry, let's go eat first. Kushina glanced around, and after humming, she walked away triumphantly, waiting for her to walk down the stairs of the martial arts arena. There was a commotion in the arena. Bullying. If she wasn't a woman, I would have beaten her up already. Don't talk too much, we're about the same time together. You alone can only be beaten. I'll beat her sooner or later. It's over, this witch has to find us tomorrow, what should I do? Come on, let's practice and practice combined strikes. I don't believe it. We, a group of people, always lose to her. Kumogakure ninjas who were beaten before in the martial arts arena can be described as enthusiastic, and their enthusiasm for training and learning is also unprecedentedly high. Kushina, who was walking down the stairs, listened carefully, the smug smile on her face disappeared, and a knowing smile appeared. Shame incentive method, succeeded. Immediately afterwards, her face collapsed, and she muttered angrily, "Bastard Xiaoai. I won't give me a commission for my hard work, and if I don't give it, I'll have to demolish your house." Kushina is not that kind of arrogant person. Although he is a little more playful, he knows how to behave. She has nothing to do with finding faults with a group of Kumogakure ninjas who are much weaker than her. This is the task that Xiaoai gave her. The male ninjas in Kumogakure village all have some big ideas. If they lose to the male ninjas, they can still drink with their backs. If they lose to the female ninjas, they can't bear it anymore. Xiaoai hopes that Kushina can stimulate some Kumogakure ninjas who are not working hard enough to make them progress. Kushina has done a good job. She is idle anyway. In the past 2 months, she has at least inspired hundreds of ninjas in the Kumogakure village. And the reason why Xiaoai gave Kushina this task is because Kushina is so annoying. Always called Xiaoai little junior brother, always asked Xiaoai to be called senior sister, always instructed the management of Kumogakure village. Xiaoai is to divert Kushina's attention. Don't let her idle, it can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Going down the winding stairs, Kushina planned to go to a downtown restaurant for dinner, and by the way saw the unpleasant Kumogakure ninja beating. Just entering the downtown street, Kushina was about to say hello to a few ninjas she knew well, and suddenly became alert. Danger! From behind. Kushina squatted down quickly, and jumped out diagonally. The man turned around when he was in the air, and saw who the sneak attack was. In his early 20s, he is 1.9 meters tall. Although he has muscles, he is not very developed compared to other Kumogakure ninjas. He has 2 swords on his back, and his smile is very cheap. This person is called Guy, and he is from Kumogakure village. Jonin of the scout unit is a little genius, good at swordsmanship. Kushina beat him more than once. Oops, didn't hit. Guy smiled, winking at Kushina. Bastard, you are courting death. Kushina blew up directly, rushed towards Guy fiercely, and beat him. Oops, help, kill. Guy ran away. He was a scout and a ninja of taijutsu, so he ran very fast. If Kushina didn't enter the state, he couldn't catch up with her immediately. Guy made a circle and ran back to the downtown, running like crazy. Kushina's desperate chase. The downtown streets were suddenly full of chickens and dogs. Ha ha ha, look, Guy is going to be beaten. Guy is crazy, to mess with Kushina. You don't understand that, young man. Guy must have that kind of mind for Kushina, He's worthy too. Whether it's worthy or not depends on Kushina's thoughts. What if Kushina sees him? Haha, yes. Kumogakure ninjas who were dining in downtown restaurants saw the situation outside the window and laughed for a while, but didn't pay much attention to it. It was not the first time that Kushina chased a certain Kumogakure ninja all over the world. Murder. You stop, asshole. Help me. You're dead. The bustling market of Kumogakure village is the main street in the center of the village. It runs through the east and west of Kumogakure village. It is very long. Yigai runs very fast, and does not go to the roof. The state, she still can't control it well enough. If she can't stop it, kills someone, or collapses a certain building, it will be bad. Although Kushina loves to make noises, she also knows how to behave. In this way, Kushina chased Yigai across the entire street, getting closer and closer to the East Village entrance. Yigai glanced back slightly, his eyes flashed, and he began to exaggerately shout, "Kushina, don't be arrogant, don't you rely on the power of the five tails. Don't use it if you have the ability. You are a waste." Fuck, Kushina was really about to fry, her hair was about to stand up. At this time, sudden, a black-robed figure appeared beside Yigai like a ghost, and a terrifying sword light suddenly erupted. Chapter 0957_3 Kills. The Revenge of Reincarnation. The black-robed figure came very suddenly, and just as Yigai was about to run out of the village, a terrifying sword light cut him off. Yigai, who originally only had the strength of Jonin, reacted extremely quickly and performed exceptionally well. At the critical moment, his body shrank and disappeared. Hit the ground with a knife, the terrifying shock wave shattered the ground dozens of meters in a radius, and even the Kumogakure ninjas who were guarding both sides of the village entrance were affected, but the power was aimed at the ground, so they could all escape. Call. The disappeared Yigai appeared again 30 meters away, already outside the village of Kumogakure. The man in black robes approached, another knife. Who? Damn. Stop. Everything happened too fast. Until then, there was a loud shouting around. The nearby Kumogakure ninja didn't care about Kushina chasing Yigai, because it was slapstick. Kushina beat Yigai at most, but now it's different. The black-robed man who suddenly appeared was going to kill. To kill Yigai. Kumogakure ninjas who saw the situation nearby rushed to Yigai's direction while drinking. There were more Kumogakure ninjas, who heard the roar here, and were rushing towards them. You stop. Kushina was stunned for a moment, and then shouted angrily, not to Yigai, but to the black-robed man who was chasing Yigai. For Kushina, Yigai is a little friend who can fight, and there are many such little friends in Kumogakure village, and the black-robed man who wants to kill Yigai is the enemy. Kushina burst into a terrifying air current, and her body was quickly enveloped in light. She is the five-tailed Jinchuriki column force. She is beasting. Call. As soon as the figure with a strong back and strong breath suddenly appeared beside Kushina, the big hands of the Poo Fan gang pressed on Kushina's shoulder and said in a low voice, "Don't move." Kushina looked up quickly and was stunned. It's Reikage Xiaoai. Don't worry about it. Xiaoai shouted again, glancing majestically around, come back. The Kumogakure ninjas who wanted to support Yigai stopped, looked at Xiaoai in confusion, and slowly returned to the Kumogakure village. Reikage told them not to save people. They would not suspect that there was something wrong with Reikage. Hey guy. Who is that black-robe ninja? More and more Kumogakure ninjas rushed to the entrance of the village, and among them, there was no lack of top powerhouses who had entered the cage level, but they were stopped by Xiaoai. They were puzzled at first, but after thinking about it, they found the problem. This Yigai, something is wrong. When he was dodging the attack, he used a very strange telekinesis technique, which did not belong to Kumogakure village. Call. Another figure appeared on the battlefield outside the village. It was also wearing a black robe and was slightly shorter. When moving at a high speed, the black robe would wrap around the body of the black-robed man with the wind, so that people could see the figure. Is a woman. The two men in black robes were besieging and killing Yigai, but Yigai was about to run away and was hiding. Kushina's eyes widened. She naturally saw that Yigai might be someone else's disguise. She felt a little cold when she thought of this. Yigai just wanted to lead her out of Kumogakure village. If he was fake, he would lead him. What do you want to do when you go out by yourself and go to a place where no one is there? Whoa, whoa. Two people appeared out of nowhere in Kushina. One was tall and the other was short. The short one looked like a child, and there was a purple kitten crawling on its head. The taller one was about the same height as Kushina, and she was a woman. Kushina could smell the powder on the man. Kushina just glanced around and didn't pay much attention. Xiao-ai was standing behind her, so the two would definitely not be enemies. Boom boom. Yigai disappeared again. The two men in black robes smashed the ground frantically. The ground cracked inch by inch, and the soil and gravel splattered, and the Kumogakure village was also affected. Houses near the entrance to the village were also destroyed. Xiao-ai ordered everyone to step back and stay away. The entrance to the village is destroyed and can be rebuilt. This person, the teacher and the wife, want to kill him personally, so Xiao-ai naturally has to cooperate. Yigai flashes again. This time, the man in black robe who appeared first chased directly behind him, and the sword light was like thunder. Daoguang took an arm, and at the same time, the appearance of Yigai, who had broken his arm, changed, and he became a pure white person, White Zetsu. Damn it, White Zetsu yelled, full of grief. Fuck. It's him again. Met again. Why so unlucky? It's the white one. Why is it white? It's him. He kidnapped Tsunade 10 years ago and killed Han Guang. It's him. Kumogakure has identified White Zetsu's identity. Although this is a secret, the high-level officials of all forces know his existence. The death of Han Guang was too sensational, and all forces can't avoid investigation. Regarding the situation of Han Guang's death, a lot of information is available. It was passed down from Konoha. White Zetsu, who lost an arm, flashed left and right, and then confronted the female black-robed man, summoning 3 large leaves to defend, but the female black-robed man smashed the defense with a punch. Another black-robed man appeared behind him. Knife light vertical and horizontal. Kai. In an instant, I don't know how many knives the man in black robe slashed. Each knife slashed through White Zetsu's body, and the golden light and Yuhi light that only 2 people could see clearly shone into the sky. White Zetsu's body froze in place, and the 2 men in black robes stopped. Bang bang. After pausing for a second, White Zetsu's body slumped down, as if a tower of Jinchuriki column had been drawn, and collapsed in place, turning into hundreds of pieces of minced meat, piled up together. Cut White Zetsu again. 3 kills. Ding! Congratulations to the subversive for killing the same hostile target 3 times in total and achieving the hidden achievement, reincarnation. The reward has been distributed along with the dropped items. The elf's prompt sounded in Lu Han's ear. Lu Han was stunned for a moment before returning to normal, and with a wave of his hand, he put all of White Zetsu's body into the space backpack. In the eyes of others, it was the black-robed man who killed White Zetsu, and with a wave of his hand, the corpses were cleaned up. Magical corpse extermination. It's all gone. When Xiao-ai saw that the matter was resolved, he turned around and shouted, "It's nothing for you, it's all gone, go back." Kumogakure ninjas near the village entrance gradually left. Kushina was still standing in front of Xiao-ai, looking at the 2 people outside the village suspiciously. These 2 feel so familiar. Chapter 0958_Anger. Just get angry. We're only a dozen ninjas left at the entrance of the village. As for Kumogakure, apart from Xiao-ai himself, only a few of his followers remained. Lu Han put away the pieces of White Zetsu's corpse, he glanced at Tsunade, and then the 2 walked towards Kumogakure village at the same time. Uzumaki Kushina's eyes kept scanning back and forth, looking at the female black-robed ninja, at the male black-robed ninja, back and forth. It really feels familiar. Especially the female black-robed ninja, very familiar. I haven't seen it yet. The black-robed man standing beside Kushina suddenly asked, with a smile in his voice, the voice of a woman. Kushina was stunned for a moment, then suddenly turned to look beside him. This is also a female ninja, the voices, Hyuga Luo Ning. Kushina stared at it, she knew. When Hyuga Luo Ning saw Kushina looking at herself, she took off her fat kabuto hat with a smile, revealing her beautiful face and bright eyes, and smiled at Kushina. Xiao Ali on the other side also wanted to take off his hat, but because the shadow cat was crawling on his head, he couldn't take it off. He went to grab the shadow cat, and the shadow cat patted his hand. Don't make trouble, come down, come down. Ali shook his head, using both hands, but he couldn't catch the shadow cat down. The two men in black robes approached. Tsunade took off the kabuto hat, shook his blonde hair, and smiled at Kushina. Little girl, long time no see. Kushina was excited, took a small step forward subconsciously, and then her face changed again, quickly withdrew her smile, tilted her mouth and turned her head to the side, and hummed heavily. I am very angry. Kushina has written these words on her face. Is Kushina still angry? Hyuga Luo Ning poked her head from Kushina's body and said with a concerned smile, it's been many years. Yeah, yes. Don't be angry anymore. Xiao Ali also interjected. While saying that, he fought hard against the shadow cat, but he couldn't take it off no matter how he picked it. Humph. Kushina snorted again, turned around and walked away, then walked to run again, and soon ran away. Get angry, get angry. Hyuga Luo Ning's face was helpless, while Tsunade felt a little guilty. She didn't ask clearly, and the misunderstanding happened. It's still like a child. Lu Han smiled and gave a comment. He was satisfied to see that Kushina was safe and sound, and said to Xiao Ai, let's go, arrange a relatively secret place, I don't want to be disturbed. Quote. 10 minutes later. Deep in the village of Kumogakure, a rocky mountain with 3 rope bridges connected to the other 3 surrounding mountains, there is also a winding mountain road on the mountain wall. The top of the mountain has a thick soil layer, and the top is lush with lush vegetation, which looks like a lonely peak a forest hat rose on his head. In the depths of the lonely forest, a mansion with luxurious facilities. Xiao Ai was walking inside with a few people, and at the same time introduced, this is the place where I retreated and practiced. No one has lived there for many years, but it has been cleaned. Teacher, you are here for the time being, and no one will disturb you. I'll arrange for Anbu to be stationed around here. Let them stay away from this mansion, just stationed at the periphery. Lu Han said. I understand. Xiao Ai nodded. He took Lu Han and others around the house, and said that they would bring more daily necessities. Lu Han asked him about Kushina's address again, and Xiao Ai said that before leaving. He is Hokage, and he has just come back to Kumogakure village, so he is busy. The courtyard is behind the house, in the hall. Oops. Hyuga Luo Ning slumped on the soft sofa chair, looking like she didn't want to move. She tilted her head and asked, how long are we going to stay here? Not sure, I should live for a long time. Lu Han smiled, noticing that the shadow cat was still playing with Xiao Ali, but not letting Xiao Ali take off his hat. Lu Han reached out and patted Shadow Cat's little head. Shadow Cat is honest. Lu Han looked at Tsunade who was walking in the lobby again, and said, I'm going to see Kushina, do you want to go with me? She definitely doesn't welcome me. Tsunade turned back, you can ask her to come to me. After saying that, Tsunade winked at Lu Han. They are all smart people, and Lu Han immediately understood what Tsunade meant. Let's go. Lu Han touched Xiao Ali's head and disappeared. Uzumaki Kushina lives near the downtown area. Maybe it's because she is too lonely. She likes to be lively. She volunteered to live in a downtown residential area that is very noisy in the morning and evening. Xiao Ai will naturally arrange for her. Of course, it is impossible to charge her rent. Lu Han came to the place Xiaoai said. A small courtyard adjacent to the downtown area is not very large, and there is only one two-story building in the courtyard. The insight map shows that Kushina is in the small building. She got angry before and went straight back here. Lu Han imagined that Kushina must be waiting here for Tsunade to apologize, and didn't even dare to walk around, for fear that Tsunade could not find her, so she naturally hoped that she could reconcile with Tsunade, but she was a little petty. Damn girl, Lu Han muttered. Just as he was about to knock on the door, he stopped suddenly. The insight map shows that at the East Village entrance of Kumogakure Village, there is a blue dot that has just entered the village. Move with another orange dot. Blue represents teammates. At present, only Orochimaru who can be judged as Lu Han's teammates by the rules is Orochimaru who performs tasks for Lu Han. The two were on the same big mission. Lu Han escorted Tsunade and others to Kumogakure Village, Orochimaru escorted Uchiha Makoto to Kumogakure Village, and the two met at Kumogakure Village. There is no doubt that the orange dot following the blue dot should be Uchiha Makoto. Lu Han took another look at the small building where Uzumaki Kushina was, thought for a while, then disappeared. Orochimaru first, because explain to Uzumaki Kushina and convince her that the resurrection of the cold light will be a more complicated process and will take a long time. The garrison camp at the East Village entrance. Orochimaru stood expressionlessly in front of the stone house. Makoto was by his side, and around the two of them, there were more than 10 Kumogakure Jonins staring at them. Orochimaru, one of the legendary Sannin, suddenly came to visit, and Kumogakure took it seriously. Someone has already informed Xiaoai. Call. The black-robed figure suddenly appeared beside Orochimaru, tilted his head and asked, "Is it going well?" Chapter 0959 did not live up to. Kumogakure ninjas around him do not know their true identity. They are very clear that this is the honored guest of Kumogakure Village and a very terrifying powerhouse. Orochimaru turned his head and glanced at Lu Han, but said nothing. Obviously it didn't go well. But the specific situation cannot be said in public here. Go outside. Lu Han tilted his head at Orochimaru, then looked at Uchiha Makoto who was holding the little black cat beside him, grabbed Uchiha Makoto's shoulders with his hands, and disappeared with Makoto with a flick of his body, followed by Orochimaru. Outside Kumogakure Village, Rocky Mountain, a small open space formed by several huge stones irregularly. Han. Makoto hugged Lu Han's waist and whispered Lu Han's name. Lu Han stroked her back lightly, whispered a few words of comfort to her, and then let her go, then looked at Orochimaru and said, "Speak." Before I took her out of Konoha Village, the Gen ninjas had already started watching her. Orochimaru began to tell. I watched for a long time to find the opportunity to take her away, but it was discovered by the leader of the Gen, Musashi. After that, and, finally, Hatake Tai Shuo stopped me. You repelled him. Lu Han frowned tightly. Orochimaru told him a lot about Hatake Tai Shuo before. He was very heartbroken, not because of Hatake Tai Shuo's betrayal. After all, Lu Han was asleep for 10 years. To Hatake Tai Shuo, Lu Han is a dead person, a past tense. Hatake Tai Shuo's allegiance to the Hokage of Konoha is not wrong. The real reason for Lu Han's heartache is because Hatake Tai Shuo has embarked on a wrong path. His current position in Konoha is very similar to the original Danzo. Sarutobi Hiruzen is still decent and great, and the shameful things that Sarutobi Hiruzen has done these years are mostly done by Hatake Tai Shuo. That's why he is called the most ruthless Captain Anbu. Orochimaru observed Lu Han's expression. His face was a little strange, and after a while he said, "We didn't really fight, I persuaded him, and he didn't chase us anymore." Convince. Lu Han looked surprised. By mouth. Can you persuade Captain Anbu to carry out the mission? Lu Han looked at Orochimaru up and down, and it seemed. This guy doesn't look like a master with the ultimate mystery. I mentioned you. Oh, then what? I provoked him to reveal the reasons for his allegiance to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Why? Vengeance for you. Avenge me. Yes. Luhan stared at Orochimaru with wide eyes. His eyes flashed and flashed. He was thinking about the logical relationship between Hitachi Taishuo's loyalty to Sarutobi Hiruzen and his revenge. Sarutobi Hiruzen told him that his cooperation with Uchiha Madara was a temporary stopgap. Uchiha Madara was a scourge, and given the right opportunity, Sarutobi Hiruzen would definitely attack Uchiha Madara, provided that Uchiha Madara himself could be seen. Sarutobi Hiruzen to Hitachi Taishuo promised that he would give Hitachi Taishuo a chance to kill Uchiha Madara himself. Hitachi Taishuo believed in Sarutobi Hiruzen's promise, so he followed Sarutobi Hiruzen faithfully. He was waiting for that chance. Luhan listened, his face changed. Hitachi Taishuo, the direct disciple who has been practicing with Luhan for the longest time, has lived up to him after all. Unlike Xiaoai and Uzumaki Kushina, the former has an unparalleled terrifying talent. Even if Luhan doesn't teach him, he will find his own way sooner or later. As for Uzumaki Kushina, Luhan didn't teach her anything at all, just some ordinary pointers and correct guidance and encouragement. Only Hitachi Taishuo got the true biography of Luhan in the true sense. Luhan has the grace to recreate him. I wish there was no character like him in the original work, which means that he should not have entered the cage level in the original work, and it is very likely that he died in the Second Ninja World War. In this world, it was because Luhan came and taught him that he broke through the bottleneck. After breaking through the limit, his strength increased by leaps and bounds. After his strength entered the cage level, the possibility of death in battle would be greatly reduced. As for your resurrection, Sarutobi Hiruzen must be hiding it from him. He doesn't know about you at all. Sarutobi Hiruzen is likely to use him to deal with you, Orochimaru said coldly. Crap, Luhan's face changed drastically. If all this is true. Well, after Hitachi Taishuo met with Orochimaru, Sarutobi Hiruzen must have doubts. Did Hitachi Taishuo already know the truth? If Sarutobi Hiruzen had this thought, then Hitachi Taishuo would be in danger. He doesn't believe me, Orochimaru added. It can only be said that he is dubious, so he returned to Konoha. He should investigate. I am afraid that he will directly question Sarutobi Hiruzen. If that is the case, he is finished. Hitachi Taishuo is very strong. Strong pervert. The overall strength should be ranked in the top few in Konoha. However, no one else is needed. If Sarutobi Hiruzen did it himself, Hitachi Taishuo would definitely not be able to carry it. Of course, Hitachi Taishuo could not be so reckless to question Sarutobi Hiruzen directly, and Sarutobi Hiruzen could not directly attack him. No reason. Sarutobi Hiruzen always has concerns about doing things. He will consider the influence, and he can't come up with a legitimate reason to move Hitachi Taishuo. Luhan was silent, and thought for a long time with a gloomy expression on his face. In fact, for Luhan, the best solution now is to reveal his identity. Straight back to Konoha. Orochimaru, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Uzumaki Kushina, Hyuga Luoning and others have proved that Luhan does not need much explanation to convince the world that he is resurrected, not who is pretending to be. But there is a very embarrassing problem with doing so. That is, no matter how prestige and famous Luhan is, he is not Hokage. Hokage is Sarutobi Hiruzen. Sarutobi Hiruzen naturally did not dare to touch the cold light that has already disclosed his identity, but he can give orders. The Third Ninja War is still going on. Sarutobi Hiruzen has the right to order Luhan to perform the task, and he can even design it to send Luhan to his death. Of course, Luhan could not obey orders, but in that case, his reputation would plummet, and his public identity would be meaningless. Luhan thought for a long time, then raised his head and asked, "Where's Jiraiya?" Chapter 0960_Speak English. Before Orochimaru went back to Konoha, Luhan and others quietly left Ludu village without notifying Jiraiya. I talked to him once before I left the country of the vortex, and gave him the task of cleaning up the enemies who were chasing Tsunade. Orochimaru said, after so many days, he is either still in the vortex country, or are already on their way back to the village of Konoha. Quote. Luhan responded with a nasal voice, and was silent again. Be quiet for a while. What do you want to do? Orochimaru asked suddenly. He didn't understand how it got from Hitachi Taishuo to Jiraiya. I was thinking that if I faced Sarutobi Hiruzen, I would have a good chance of winning. Luhan continued, the two strongest people under Sarutobi Hiruzen are Namikaze Minato and Jiraiya, and Namikaze Minato is Jiraiya's direct disciple. At most, you will force Jiraiya to be neutral. After all, I and Tsunade have the influence. Orochimaru analyzed, you want Jiraiya to completely rely on us, and then let him contain Namikaze Minato and fight against Sarutobi Hiruzen. This is impossible. Quote. Where's Namikaze Minato? Luhan immediately asked. He has no reason to vote for you. Orochimaru continued, Jiraiya taught him, Sarutobi Hiruzen nurtured him and promoted him. He has no relationship with you, and Sarutobi Hiruzen has already designated him as the next Hokage. It is estimated that in these few within the year, he will be on the position of Hokage. This matter has been decided by the high level. Sarutobi Hiruzen is getting older and older, and the above are all optimistic about him. Orochimaru's words have made it clear that Namikaze Minato is the successor trained by Sarutobi Hiruzen, and he cannot go against Sarutobi Hiruzen. As for Jiraiya, at most, because of the pressure from Orochimaru and Tsunade, he remained neutral, and it was impossible for him to favor Luhan. Namikaze Minato. Namikaze Minato. Luhan muttered the name of Namikaze Minato. This guy is a big threat. The last time Luhan looked at his level 70 bronze boss, but this was not his limit. The strongest Namikaze Minato in the original book was the Sage Mode plus Kyuubi, 9 Tails Yin Chakra after being reincarnation by Impure World in the Fourth World War. And the current Namikaze Minato does not have Kyuubi, 9 Tails Yin Chakra, but it must have Master Sage Mode, just not very good at it. At present, Namikaze Minato is only 23 years old and is still growing at a high speed. Luhan speculates that in a year's time, his strength will probably reach the level of 70 White Silver Boss. And whether he will die like in the original book is not certain. Luhan affected everything. You want to kill Sarutobi Hiruzen? Orochimaru asked suddenly. Luhan looked at Orochimaru with deep eyes. Such words cannot be easily said to Orochimaru. The ghost knows what Orochimaru thinks in his heart. In the original book, he who has been completely blackened will also cry for the killing of the master. Now, he is only a little black. Does he really want Sarutobi Hiruzen to die? The same cannot be said to Tsunade, much less to Jiraiya. Confrontation and seizing power is one thing, killing Sarutobi Hiruzen is another. Luhan can go directly to Konoha to solve the problem from the root, that is to cut off Sarutobi Hiruzen directly. Not to mention whether he can succeed or not. Even if he succeeds, he may not be able to escape Konoha alive, and even if he escapes, fame, prestige, status, he will lose all of it. He's going to be the bad guy. Will be Konoha missing Nin. Then, Iwagakure, Sunagakure, Omegakure, Kurigakure, Konoha. They are all enemies of Luhan. Luhan is not afraid of things. With his current strength, even if he is desperate, there is no problem, but he still has a wife and a son. He has the responsibility to take good care of his wife and children. Whether Sarutobi Hiruzen moved Luhan or Hitachi Taishuo, he was full of concerns, and he could only act in secret. In fact, Luhan he also has concerns. Sarutobi Hiruzen hadn't touched Luhan's bottom line yet, which was the reason why Luhan didn't immediately bring the knife back to Konoha. I came back from Konoha, more than 2 days have passed, what should have happened should have already happened. Orochimaru said coldly, if Hitachi Taishuo has been killed, I think you should be more prepared, and then deal with Sarutobi Hiruzen. When you do it, you only consider the influence of a few people, but Konoha has tens of thousands of ninjas, and the strong are like clouds, among which can pose a threat to you, and _. The sound of wind approached rapidly, and Orochimaru suddenly shut up and turned to look. Luhan and Uchiha Makoto also looked. This is a rocky mountain, surrounded by large rocks, blocking the wind and blocking people's sight. Whoosh! As the wind approached, a strong figure jumped up from behind the rock and jumped on the top of the huge rock. When he saw a few people behind the rock, he grinned and said, "Why don't you go in and talk? It's Xiao Ai." Orochimaru came to visit. Someone notified him. He rushed over, and found this place following his breath. "Go back and talk." Lu Han glanced at Orochimaru and said. A few minutes later, the top of the solitary peak was hidden in a luxurious mansion in the forest. "Master Tsunade." Uchiha Makoto greeted Tsunade nervously and lowered his head. Tsunade had a bad look on his face, and said, lightly. "Luo Ning, go to the front house and arrange a room for Makoto." Lu Han said to Hyuga Luo Ning, and gave Uchiha Makoto a wink, motioning her to go with Hyuga Luo Ning. "Let's go, this way." Hyuga Luo Ning took Makoto out of the hall. "Where's Kushina?" Tsunade asked. "I haven't seen her yet." Lu Han replied. HMPH. Tsunade snorted coldly, leaning under the chair table, holding up the teacup, and squinting at Lu Han. She is very upset now because of Uchiha Makoto. Lu Han ignored her face. He was now thinking about Hitaki Taishuo and Sarutobi Hiruzen. Orochimaru and Xiao Ai were sitting in the chairs, looking like they were wandering in the sky. Obviously, they didn't dare to intervene in this matter. "Meow. Wait for me." The shadow cat ran down the stairs, and Xiao Ali was chasing it. When Lu Han saw the shadow cat, his eyes lit up and he immediately greeted, "Yuying." "Call." The shadow cat flickered on Lu Han's shoulder and wagged its tail at him. "How long will it take you to go to Konoha village from here?" "Meow meow. Speak human words." 40 minutes.